Also on an initial permanency hearing. Again, Ms. Gutierrez is with us for the department. Ms. Wiggins is with us representing the children. Mr. Michelson's with us representing the father, Mr. Wright. I don't see him in my waiting room. Mr. Michelson, were you expecting him?
No, Your Honor. My understanding is he's in custody.
Okay. Do you know where?
I do, but I've forgotten. I read it in the permanency report. I wasn't aware until I read the report that he was in custody.
Okay. The report I read said he was recently out of jail.
Oh, maybe I mistook it. I guess regardless, I have not had contact with him, so no, I wouldn't expect him.
Okay. All right. And again, Miss Lucera's with us representing the mother, Miss Campbell. I have Juan Heredia in the waiting room. That's my only person in the waiting room.
That's my worker for this one, Your Honor.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And is the mother of all three children Susan Campbell?
Yes.
And is her husband, Lewis Campbell, the father of Dallas?
Yes.
And Susan's older children, Bonnie and Clyde, their father is Brandon Wright. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, great. Did you file a court report in this case on March 13th of 2025?
Yes.
And was that in both cases?
Yes.
Your Honor, we ask that the court take judicial notice of that court report.
All right. So noted, and I have read both of those reports.
Thank you, Your Honor. Juan, there was something in the court report about a home study in process. I'd like to ask you about that first. What is that, or who is that home study on?
That home study it would be on Lewis Campbell's parents, Melanie Coleman, his mother.
Okay. And how is that home study, where in process is it? Is it finished yet?
It is just about finished. All the background checks were completed. I have been in contact with Miss Coleman. The only, I guess, caveat that she had put in was that her home is in the process of they are remodeling the home and updating. And her concern was that the home only has it's a 2-bedroom home. It's the bedroom that she has one bedroom that her and her husband share, and then there would only be one other bedroom in the home. So that was something that she was a little concerned about.
Okay. And for clarification, is she concerned about the home study, it not passing because of only 2 rooms, or is she concerned about not having enough room personally for the children?
She was just concerned about whether it would be enough room for all the children.
Okay. Now moving on, are there any updates on Dallas since the filing of the court report?
As far as Dallas goes, Dallas is doing well in his placement. His behaviors have gotten much better. He is going to therapy. As far as his education goes, he did have an art meeting on March the 7th. That was to update the program that he was on originally when he was first placed at his current placement. They were following the programming that had been sent from his previous school. So they had him in for about 30 days, and then they updated that program just to help him further with skills and whatnot, and then to get him some speech therapy as well.
Okay. So regarding the speech therapy, is the school the one setting that up?
Yes.
And do you know if that has already started?
Yes, it has.
In your court report as well, you identified some psychotropic medicine that Dallas is on. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And how old is Dallas?
Dallas is 6.
Okay. Has he expressed an opinion on those medications?
No, he has not.
Okay. Have you talked to him about those medications?
Yes, I have talked to him about it in regards to how he feels with them. And Dallas's usual responses are very short, and it's okay. And, he takes his medications, and that's really the understandings that he has or that he has expressed.
And are those medications being reviewed at least 30 days by a psychiatrist?
Yes.
Thank you. Now, moving on, what about Clyde? What is Clyde's update since the filing of the court report?
Clyde is doing very well. Clyde's behaviors also have been, for the most part, consistent. They've gotten better. He has had a few outbursts at school where he tends to kick and scream and becomes a little defiant. it gets controlled through redirection and removing Clyde from the situation that's overwhelming him. Clyde has also gotten very good about having a better understanding about when he feels overwhelmed, and he will raise his hand and talk to his teacher, or depending, if he's outside on the playground, if he feels a little overwhelmed, to the teacher or educator in charge, administrator, about asking for a moment to be withdrawn and regain his composure. He also has had a few incidents at his placement, but again, through redirection, Clyde is able to be calmed and be put back on track.
That's great. He as well is on psychotropic medication, is that correct?
Yes.
And he is in therapy, is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Now, that psychotropic medication, is it being reviewed at least every 30 days by a psychiatrist?
Yes.
And have you checked in with Clyde and asked him about those medications?
Yes, I have talked with Clyde about his medications and how he's feeling, how he's doing. And Clyde has not expressed any concerns or any real opinion about his medications either. He does say he feels better. So.
Okay, that's great. Let me put that in. Now, I think I read something in the court report, correct me if I'm wrong, that Clyde qualifies for speech therapy as well, or has a speech issue?
Clyde's one of Clyde's main issues is in regards to some of his reading and the way he's comprehending a lot of letters and whatnot. He does have a bit of a speech delay, and that the speech was also added. He had an ART as well, and that was also added into the programs that he's enrolled in and they're working on for him with his education.
Okay. And does the school intend to provide speech therapy for Clyde?
Yes.
And has that already started?
Yes. And then those programs are slated to where they are to where they're not pulling him away from his learning or education. It's split up to where it's not anything added on extra on the side, but it actually coincides with the teaching curriculum.
Great, thank you, Juan. Now, regarding the mother, Ms. Campbell, how is she progressing on her service plan?
Ms. Campbell, for the most part, has done very well. She has remained very compliant as far as maintaining communication with the department. She's maintained a job. She's even gotten a promotion at her job. She's worked very hard to get the family going or provide a better situation for the family. She has done, she's gone and gotten herself a vehicle after she went without one for a while. She's been compliant as far as her drug screens. Her drug screens have all been negative, both the UAs and her hair follicle screens. The only thing that Miss Campbell needed to work on was to start her domestic violence support group that she needed to get scheduled. She had also been referred for an OSAR, and the OSAR had been scheduled. I know the provider had gotten a little behind as far as being able to schedule and actually see patients. So I know that was in the works as well.
Now, regarding that issue, the OSAR, are we needing Ms. Campbell to sign another release of information to reset up that OSAR?
No, they were able to get in, and we had sent all the paperwork in for that release and all that. It was just on the provider's end where she had been out a few weeks, so she had kind of gotten behind on her scheduling and to be able to see and do consultations.
Okay. And you may have answered this, forgive me. It sounds like the OSAR program is taking a little bit longer than usual. So does mom have an actual appointment for that substance abuse assessment with OSAR today, like at this point?
Yes, ma'am. I believe it was for March 11th is when she was supposed to go for her assessment.
And have you received those results back?
No, I have not.
And in regards to Mr. Campbell, how is he progressing on his services?
Mr. Campbell has worked on some of his services. He did go to his parenting. He was continuing to go to his parenting classes. When the report was compiled and filed, he'd done 5 weeks out of 13. He had also done his rational behavior therapy. He had where he struggled with is that he's had a hard time maintaining employment. From what he has reported to me is that his employers have not been very open to him having to leave to go to classes or attend some of the requirements for his case. So he's struggled as far as employment goes. He's also consistently tested positive on his UA screens, and on his most recent hair follicle came back positive also. Those results just took a while. They were just filed this morning.
Now, regarding his positive urinalysis, that's for marijuana, is that correct?
Yes.
But did his hair follicle have something?
I'll object to hearsay, please.
Sustained.
Did the hair follicle drug screen results cause you concern?
Yes.
Now, was Batter's intervention and prevention program a part of Mr. Campbell's service plan?
Yes, there was a batter's intervention plan also that he had not enrolled and begun yet.
And the main causes of the removal were domestic violence and drug use. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
To your knowledge, do Susan and Lewis Campbell remain in a relationship?
Yes, they do.
And does it cause you concern that Mr. Lewis, the alleged perpetrator of the domestic violence, has not yet begun that FIT program?
Yes.
And can we get an update on Brandon Wright, please?
As far as Brandon Wright, the last that we had for Brandon Wright, he had been incarcerated again. He had been released shortly after the case opened up, and we had attempted to contact him. And when we ran checks and all that, it was found that he had been incarcerated again. An LPS worker had been assigned and had attempted to serve him notification at his home and was unable to. And then later it was found that he had been incarcerated.
So as of today, is he incarcerated again right now?
Yeah. Yes.
And do you know what county or what facility?
It is it's in Livingston, Texas. Off the top of my head, I don't remember the county. I apologize.
Okay. Do you know if he's in county jail or TDCJ?
It's a county jail.
Thank you, Juan. In regards to visitation, how are Ms. Campbell's visitations going with the children?
Ms. Campbell's visitations are going very well. She has in-person visits with Bonnie, because Bonnie is the only one that's still here within region. They have 2-hour visits. They play games. Initially, Susan would order food for them before Susan had gotten another vehicle. And then recently it's been that Susan brings items to make dinner. So both Bonnie and Susan will prepare meals together. And it's something that has been very good to see, that it's not just them they're spending time, but it's quality time. It's things that they're interacting and they're talking and communicating and helping one another, and things that's growing their bond. Susan also has virtual visits with the boys. Those consist of 2-hour visits. Also, they include Lewis. Those visits are going well. The boys share their activities and give mom updates on what's going on with them, what's happening in school. Ask a lot of questions of mom and their dad.
And for Lewis, are those visitations going well also?
Yes, Lewis's visits are going well with Dallas.
Okay. Now you mentioned, I'm a little bit confused. You said mom's visits are with Dallas and Clyde, but then you said that those visits include Lewis. So is Lewis having visitation with Dallas and Clyde at the same time?
Lewis has his visits with Dallas on Tuesdays, but because they are in the same placement, Clyde will pop in and talk a little bit with Lewis as well. And then Susan will be on and he'll visit with her.
In regards to Brandon Wright, he is not having visitation since he is incarcerated at this time. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Are there any additional services that need to be ordered?
Not at this time.
And what extra steps is St. Francis taking to make those reasonable efforts to reunify with Brandon since he's incarcerated?
Well, the only thing we've been able to do is just have an LPS worker um, assigned to contact him and try and get a hold of him.
And has that already been done?
Yes.
Are we asking for any drug screens to be ordered today?
They just had their most recent ones at the beginning of March. They had UA screens and hair follicle screens.
Now, in regards to the home, are Mrs. Campbell and Mr. Campbell, are they residing together?
Yes, they reside together in a travel trailer.
Okay. And what is the condition of that trailer at this time?
There was a concern with the conditions of it is that during the cold weather, they had to have like solar panels that you would normally put up like on a car shield, like to keep the sun out, like to explain that kind of shield. They had that up on the windows to try and retain the heat within the trailer, and they only had a space heater that was being utilized to maintain, some warmth in the trailer. So as far as for the weather and the elements, it wasn't suitable. And also they had not cleaned up the trailer. There was dirty dishes and laundry out in the kitchenette area.
Did you communicate your concerns with Mr. and Mrs. Campbell?
Yes.
Have they taken any steps to rectify the condition of their home?
I have not been back this month, so I couldn't say whether it's improved from the last time that I was there.
Okay, but they're aware that there's some steps that they need to take. Is that correct?
Yes. Yes.
Great. Can you please identify the department's reasonable efforts to reunify the families?
We've created a tailored family plan of service to address the concerns and issues that caused the children to be removed from the home. And we have been working with the parents to ensure that they had the resources available to them for them to be able to reach providers to help them with their service plan.
As well as facilitating visitation between Mr. and Mrs. Campbell and their children. Is that also a reasonable effort to reunify?
Yes, we've also provided efforts as far as getting them set up with the technology that is required for them to maintain virtual visits, or if for some reason the technology wasn't available, so, they could do phone calls as well. And then of course providing a space for the in-person visits to take place.
And having an LPS worker assigned for Mr. Wright, is that also a reasonable effort to reunify?
Yes.
And is that LPS worker, do they go over service plans and try to update the parents about their children as well?
Yes.
Are there any other requests we have for the court at this time?
No, ma'am.
Would it be a continuing danger to the children's physical health and safety to be returned to the parents today?
Yes, it would.
And would it be contrary to their welfare?
Yes.
Pass the witness.
Thank you. One, at the status hearing, I'd ordered Mr. Campbell to successfully complete an anger management course. Has he either done that or scheduled it yet?
No, Your Honor.
All right. And I also ordered that his visitation would be as recommended by the children's counselors. Has that recommendation been made, and is he having visitation?
Yes, Your Honor. The recommendation was made on his evaluation, and he has been having his visits.
Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you. Ms. Lucero?
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Heredia, regarding the living situation for Ms. Campbell, have you had discussions with her that the trailer right at this point is just a temporary because they're trying to move to maybe buy a home or rent a new home? Were you aware of that?
Yes, she had mentioned it, and the idea of them moving into an apartment had been shared with me.
Okay.
And then at a point they had split up, and then they got back together. So that was still going back and forth. And I know it had been a struggle since it was only Mrs. Campbell working.
Okay, but I guess I should have been more specific. Recently, were you made aware that they're looking for a new place to live?
Yes.
Okay, all right. And you stated that the visits have been going well, and Ms. Campbell is doing well in her progress and on her service plan, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Would it be possible to increase? I know the virtual visits, the boys aren't here, but would it be possible if there's time available on y'all's end and Ms. Campbell's work schedule to increase her visits with at least Bonnie at this time?
Okay. She has 2 hours currently, so
Okay.
I guess really you know, and Susan has done well as far as working her services. So yes,
Okay.
that could be considered. Yes.
Okay. And as far as the WAVE program that she's to complete, has the payment been sent over for her to begin that, or is there a provider available for her to begin that program?
Yes, there was.
Okay. Okay.
If we need to resend it, we can do that.
Okay, Mr. Lydia, I appreciate it. I'll pass the witness.
All right, thank you. Ms. Kincaid?
Thank you, Your Honor. Has Mr. Campbell maintained contact with you?
Through Susan for the most part.
Okay. Has he provided you with an updated phone number?
Yes.
Okay. And he is working on the Padre program, is that correct? The parenting classes?
Yes, the parenting. I apologize. Yes.
Okay. And has he attended the drug screens you've sent him to attend?
Yes.
And has he's completed his RBT, is that correct?
Yes.
And he did his psychosocial already.
Yes.
And so far as his OSAR, were you having the same issues with getting the processing of the OSAR for Mr. Campbell as well?
Yes, it was the same situation. And I had reached out and been in contact with the provider numerous times, and it was just they hadn't been seeing people.
Okay. And do you know if he's had an OSAR scheduled?
No, his was still in the process of being scheduled.
Okay. So do we have a date yet for that?
No, for his, I did not have one before
Okay.
the hearing.
And for BIP, has there been a referral sent over?
Yes.
And for anger management, has a referral been sent over?
Yes.
Okay. Does he have the phone number and contact information for the anger management class?
I can get all that to him again.
That would be perfect. Thank you. I'll pass the witness.
Mr. Michelson?
Thank you, Your Honor. With respect to the service plan, has Brandon reviewed and signed it?
No, sir.
No, sir? Okay, thank you. What reasonable efforts has the department made in respect to Mr. Wright's compliance with the service plan?
An LPS worker was assigned to try and get in contact with him to be able to establish contact and then go over what the requirements were and what the plan was about.
Do you know if he's reviewed the service plan with the LPS worker?
No, sir.
Okay. And other than his incarceration over the last 90 days, is there any barriers preventing his compliance?
No.
Okay. And you indicated that he's completed RBT, correct?
For who, sir?
Mr. Wright, I'm sorry. Brandon
No.
Wright?
No. He hasn't worked any services.
Oh, okay. I misunderstood. You were probably talking about Mr. Campbell. So he's not completed any services.
That is correct.
Okay. Has he been referred to services?
No.
Okay. Has Mr. Wright had any visitation with the children?
No.
Okay. Pass the witness, Your Honor.
One, has Mr. Wright contacted you at all?
No, Your Honor.
Whether he was in jail or out of jail, since the case began, he's not tried to contact you, has he?
That is correct. He has not.
Okay, thank you. All right, Ms. Wiggins?
Have we started or gotten Bonnie in to see Melissa Lawson yet for counseling?
Yes, she was seen. She's on as needed. Initially, when she had gone and had her referral and all that, she was put on, her counseling as needed.
Do you know why she indicated as needed?
Bonnie was not having any issues and was not having any behaviors either.
Okay. Because she had leukemia when she was younger. Is that correct?
Yes.
And she goes every year to double check that to make sure that's in remission, right?
Yes, to ensure that she's that that there's no concerns or anything like that as far as anything residual or anything from that.
Okay. And have you been able to get counseling notes from Miss Lawson to see if Bonnie was able to address, because she's an extremely quiet girl, so I couldn't
Yes.
really get her to say anything to me very much other than school was okay.
The school was okay, and she'll share a few things, and she's got layers to her, to where it's going to take her a while for her to get comfortable with you and just kind of spill everything. Yes, that is
right.
correct.
And so do we believe that maybe she had enough time to get with Miss Lawson and develop that rapport to where, you know, she was able to talk through the domestic violence?
Yes, I mean, and I can reach out and get an update, see if there's any other notes or if she's needed any follow-ups.
Okay, that'd be great. Thank you. Nothing further, Judge. We did talk to the boys about their medications. They didn't have any issues.
They're fine with them?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Ms. Gutierrez, do you have any other witnesses?
I have a quick follow-up for Mr. Heredia.
Okay.
Mr. Heredia, when the judge asked you about Mr. Campbell's visitation with Dallas, you said, yes, we checked with his therapist. Can you clarify who you were referring to when you said his?
For Mr. Campbell, or are you
Yes.
referring to Mr. Campbell or to
Yes,
to
for
Dallas?
I'll re-ask my question. I'm sorry, I may have not been clear. The judge asked about Lewis's visitation with Dallas and that he had ordered it to be as recommended by the child's therapist. And when you responded, instead of saying whose therapist, you said his therapist. Could you now clarify whose therapist you checked with?
Yes, it was for Mr. Campbell's therapist with
Okay.
Jennings counseling. Yes.
Now, if the court order indicated that you were supposed to check with the child's therapist, would that be something that you now need to do?
Yes.
Okay, and can you do that today?
Yes.
Thank you. No further questions for this witness, Your Honor.
Okay. Yeah,
I do-
Mr. Heredia, she's correct. I ordered that that his visitation with Dallas would be as recommended by Dallas's therapist, not by
Okay.
Mr. Campbell's. So we'll need to be
I
sure.
can check on that, Your Honor.
Yeah, be sure Dallas's therapist doesn't have a problem with him having visitation.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. All right,
Thank you.
Ms. Gutierrez, any other witnesses?
No other witnesses, Your Honor. I apologize for going over. We do ask for reasonable efforts as testified to by Mr. Heredia, and that's it for today.
Okay, I will make the findings of reasonable efforts by service plans and by visitation for everyone except for Mr. Campbell. I'm sorry, Mr. Wright. And as testified to, Mr. Wright's not reached out. So I think the department's done all they can by having a courtesy worker meet with him. So, okay, Ms. Lucero, do you have any witnesses?
Your Honor, I don't have any witnesses. I would just ask the court to consider increasing Ms. Campbell's visits with Bonnie. She's doing well, and they seem like, the visits are going really well. So I would ask that at this time.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with it as long as they can accommodate more than 2 hours a week. So if St. Francis can handle it, I don't have a problem with it. So, okay, Ms. Kincaid, any witnesses?
No, Your Honor, I rest.
Thank you, Mr. Michelson.
No witnesses, Your Honor, I rest.
Thank you, Ms. Wiggins. Recommendations.
I recommend that all the placements be continued and approved. Like I indicated a little, Bonnie's very quiet, but she seems to be doing well, comfortable, got really good reports for her placement. And then the boys seem to be doing progressively better. They still, like they said, have some behavioral issues, but they seem to be doing okay.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
And I have no objection to increased visitation with Mom and Bonnie.
Okay. All right, then. In both cases, then I will continue the department as temporary managing conservator and continue the current placement. And again, if St. Francis can accommodate it, I don't have a problem with additional visitation with Bonnie and Miss Campbell. So, all right, in both cases, we will have our next hearing, the permanency hearing, on July 14th. That will be by Zoom like today's hearings, so parties and attorneys can go on the court's online docket a day or two in advance of July 14th to see what time we'll have that hearing. Okay, we'll stand in recess on this case. I'll be back here very quickly. Ms. Wildman is with us for the department. Mr. Hill is with us representing the child. Ms. Lucero is with us representing the father, Mr. Lacey, who appears to be with us. And Ms. Kincaid is with us representing the mother, Ms. Wheeler, who is with us. I have Angela Tidwell and Linda Kennedy in the waiting room.
Angela Tidwell is my worker. Linda Kennedy is not needed until noon. Could we bring her in and let her know that?
Yeah, let me. Is she a witness?
She'll be a witness on the at the adversary hearing, yes, Judge.
Okay.
And are you the permanency specialist working the case with her and her parents?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And where is Josie currently placed?
Josie's currently placed in a kinship placement with her great aunt and uncle.
And how's she doing in that placement?
She's doing really well. She's thriving. She's happy, healthy, and she's bonded to her current placement. She's doing really well.
Now, is that placement supervising the visitation with the parents?
Yes, ma'am.
And how much visitation have the parents been? Are the parents doing visitation together?
Yes, ma'am.
And at this point, I mean, what kind of visitation are they receiving?
They both get 10 hours of supervised visitation a week.
Okay. And so, are there any other concerns about Josie?
No, ma'am. She's doing well, and she's bonded to Micah, and she's bonded to Kelly. She's thriving.
All right. So let's talk about Miss Wheeler and her progress on her service plan. At this point, are there any services that Miss Wheeler still needs to complete?
No, ma'am. She completed all services by February
All right.
2025.
And has she been drug screening for the department?
Yes, she has been drug screening every month.
Now, I mean, is it fair to say that was one of the primary issues that led to the removal initially?
Yes, ma'am.
And has she drug screened for this month?
I have not sent her for the yet.
Okay. But when was the last time there was any kind of positive result on her screens?
In January, on January 22nd, 2025, she did have a positive hair follicle for marijuana, and her levels had dropped more than half from October.
Okay. Now, can you kind of just go through briefly? Well, let's just say, so all of the services she was required have already been completed, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Does that include an OSAR assessment and the recommended drug treatment?
Yes, ma'am.
What sort of aftercare has she been participating in?
Kelly was required to do a 12-week outpatient through Centacor, and she completed that and turned in her certificate of completion. And then also they participate in a 12-step program as well.
And is that the Celebrate Recovery group that
Yes,
you put in your report report?
Yes, ma'am.
And is Kelly still doing that program?
Yes, ma'am.
And actually, Mr. Lacey also does that program, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And so at this point, are there any other further services that we're requesting from Ms. Wheeler?
No, ma'am.
All right. And so let's talk about Mr. Lacey. Does Mr. Lacey have any services that he still needs to complete?
No, ma'am.
When did he finish his services?
He completed all of his services in February of 2025 as well.
And did that include an OSAR and the recommended treatment?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. At this point, and let me ask you, at any point during the case, has he tested positive for anything on his drug screens?
No, ma'am.
Now, in the court report that you had provided, there was a continuing danger statement. Does the department still think that there is a continuing danger that would prohibit the child from being returned home?
No, ma'am.
At this point, is the department recommending that the child either be placed with the parents on a monitored return or, at the very least, start unsupervised visitation with a step-up plan intending to return the child home?
Yes, ma'am.
As far as reasonable efforts to reunify, do you believe that family plan of services that we developed and that they have completed has been a reasonable effort to reunify the family?
Yes, ma'am.
As well as the visitation that they've had and the bond they've been able to build with Josie?
Yes, ma'am.
Are there any further recommendations as far as services for the parents and
No,
the
ma'am.
child,
No, ma'am.
other than that monitored return?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I will pass the witness.
Ms. Kincaid?
Thank you, Your Honor. Has Ms. Wheeler been cooperative with you throughout this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Has she maintained contact with you?
Yes, ma'am.
Have they allowed you announced and unannounced visits to the home?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you found the home to be clean, safe, and appropriate?
Yes, ma'am.
Do they have a place for Josie ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you feel like a monitored return would adequately protect the child?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you see any barriers for this child being returned home on a monitored return?
I do not, ma'am.
Thank you. I'll pass the witness.
All right, thank you. Ms. Lucero? Is she not with us? I didn't even look. She was in our first hearing. I just assumed she stayed on.
I wasn't sure when she dropped off, Judge. I thought she was in here as well.
Okay, well, let's go on, Mr. Hill, questions?
No questions, Your Honor.
All right. Ms. Wildman, did you have any other witnesses?
I did not, Your Honor.
All right. Ms. Kincaid, any witnesses?
No, Your Honor.
All right.
And, Your Honor, just to clarify, I wanted to just for our records, is that Mr. Lacey with Miss Wheeler?
I assumed it was when I first called the case, and they were shaking their head yes. So.
Okay, perfect.
Okay. I don't see any need to wait for Ms. Lucero. Mr. Hill, recommendations?
Judge, I'm very pleased with the progress in this case. I commend the parents for doing great work, and I recommend some form of monitored return or step up, whatever the court would prefer.
Okay. All right, then. Based on what I've heard, then I will continue the department's temporary manager conservator. I'll order that Josie be placed back with her parents on a monitored return just as quickly as we can get that done. I was going to set our next permanency hearing for July, but I'm going to move it up to May. I've got a feeling this case might be ready to be dismissed in May. So I'll set our next hearing for May 5th, 2025. That will be by Zoom, like today's hearing, so parties and attorneys can go on the court's online docket to see exactly what time that hearing will take place. Ms. Wheeler, Mr. Lacey, as has been stated, I commend you on how quickly you've jumped on these services too. I can't tell you how rare it is that we get to the initial permanency hearing and you've worked all your services. So it's obvious that you took it seriously. It's obvious you love Josie. So I fully expect I'll probably be back here in May just dismissing the case, which I'm sure you guys will be happy for me to do. So just keep up the good work. We will see y'all back on May 5th, 2025. It will be by Zoom like today's hearing, so parties and attorneys can go on the court's online docket a day or two in advance of May 5th to see exactly what time we'll have that hearing. Okay, we will stand in recess on this case. Y'all have a good week. I'll be back with us representing the children. Ms. Naranjo is not with us. She represents the mother, Miss Gettles. There she is. She's in the waiting room. Let's get her in. All right, Ms. Naranjo now has joined us representing the mother, Miss Gettles. Miss Gettles is not in the waiting room. No, yeah, she is. She just came in too. Let's get her in. All right, Mr. Hill is with us representing the father, Joseph Gettles. He's not in the waiting room. I don't know whether he might be with Miss Gettles. Yeah, looks like they're on. Are you Mr. Gettles? Yes, you can just shake your head yes. Okay, all right. Mr. Gettles is also with us. That accounts for all the parties. I don't have anyone in the waiting room other than Mr. Michelson. He's here for a 10:30 hearing.
Okay. Rissy, is Marie going to log on for the hearing?
I'm Marie. Actually, Rissy and I are in the same office together right now. I was having trouble with my computer, so it's me and Rissy. We're both here. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, great. Thank you, Your Honor. I've got her in already then.
Okay, and your witness is whom?
It'll be Marie.
Okay. Marie, if you'd raise your right hand. Okay, thank you. I did not receive a compliance hearing on this case, so Ms. Gutierrez, I'll just need updates from the last time.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you. And you are an employee of DFPS, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And are you a family-based safety services worker?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, great. Can I get an update? Sorry, I'm hearing music.
I'm glad it wasn't just me.
Okay, we'll start over, Marie. This case initially started due to cocaine use by both parents, is that correct?
It started with the weight concerns of Odin, but during the investigations, both parents screened positive for cocaine. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, throughout the case, did both parents attend an intensive outpatient substance abuse treatment program?
Yes.
And have they sought continued support through AA or NA or a like program?
Yes, ma'am. They attend AA meetings.
As of today, are they sober?
Yes.
And you put in your court report that the drug screens have been negative, is that correct?
Yes.
And have they had negative hair follicle drug screens as well?
Rebecca did. Joseph's in January was positive for marijuana. It was just 1.1, but the last time he screened positive for marijuana was in November. All of his drug screens since then have been negative for marijuana. The department feels the 1.1 marijuana came through from the November due to it being done in January.
Okay, so have parents fulfilled all of their services that were ordered?
Yes, ma'am.
And how is Odin doing?
He's doing great. He will not be seen until April when he turns 1 year old, but he is gaining weight and he's almost walking.
Okay. And is there another child in the home with Odin?
Yes, Oakland.
Okay. How is Oakland doing?
Oakland is doing great.
Okay. And were there any concerns for Oakland at the beginning?
No, ma'am.
All right. I think we are here today asking the court to dismiss the case. Is that correct?
Yes.
Can you give a very detailed explanation as to why, so that the court has all the information they need as well as the ad litem?
Yes. The department has observed for both parents that they have truly taken into consideration how their drug use affected the children. It exposed the children to drug use, and they are aware of their decisions, and they are more aware of the positive decisions that they need to make in order to keep both of their children safe. They have completed several different online courses in regards to parenting, drug use, decision making, and they have shown the department they are able to put their children first and keep them safe. They recently moved into a new home. So they are now living together as a family because the department lifted all of their supervision because of the progress that they've made and them ensuring that they're remaining clean. So they are starting over in their new home.
Now, would the FBSS case be closed as well if the court dismissed this case?
Joseph will finish up a online substance abuse class that we also recommended on top of the outpatient program. So once he completes that, we'll monitor through that. And then at the end of that, if there are no other concerns, then yes, we will proceed with case closure.
So it sounds like we no longer need the court's order to enforce compliance because the family is in compliance. Is that correct?
Correct.
As well, it sounds as well like the parents and the children are in a safe place, and the department would still be involved, but not in a legal way. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, I pass the witness.
All right, Mr. Ronho, any questions?
No questions, Your Honor.
Mr. Hill?
No, sir.
Ms. Wiggins, recommendation?
I recommend that the department's order to participate be dismissed. It's really, really great news. I know a lot of times we don't have order to participate that are this quickly successful, so it's very good news.
Yeah. All right, then. I will grant the department's motion to dismiss the case. Since we're dismissing the case, there'll be no further hearings. Mr. and Ms. Gettles, congratulations on getting your services done so well and so fast. Typically, most of our order to participate cases, or a good share of them, turn into a formal removal. So to be able to dismiss the case, I'm happy about it, and I'm happy that we got to do it so quickly. So congratulations, and I'm sure you'll be happy not to have to see me anymore. So
Thank you.
all right. We will stand in recess on this case. I'll be back at
Can I have a
10:30 to
breakout
call
room
another
with the
Randall County
parties?
case.
My
That
client
is
had
a
filed
final hearing
a last minute addendum to the court report on Friday.
Okay, let me go ahead and call the case, then I'll put you in the
Yes,
break room. Ms. Wildman is with us for the department. Ms. Gomez is with us representing the child. Mr. Naranjo is with us representing the father. Mr. Flores, who is with us. Mr. Michaels is with us representing the mother. Ms. Oyerbides, who is not with us. I show she's incarcerated in the Potter County Jail. Is that correct, Mr. Michelson?
No, she has been released, Your Honor.
Okay.
And I spoke with her yesterday, so I fully expected her to be here this morning.
Okay, all right. All right, then, Ms. Wildman, who did you want in the breakout room?
Just the attorneys at this time, Judge. So Ms. Naranjo, Ms. Gomez, and Mr. Michelson.
Right. Okay.
Judge, could I meet with Mr. Flores briefly?
Yeah, let me get these rooms closed. Mr. Michelson, your client has joined us.
I think he's trying to call his client, Judge.
Mr. Michelson, if you'd unmute.
Yes, Your Honor.
Your client's with us.
Oh, okay, good. All right. Thank
All
you.
right, so Ms. Naranjo wants a breakout room with her client. Do you need the breakout room with yours?
Yes, sir.
Well, she said no, you said yes. I'm going to put you on.
No, I said yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
give me a minute.
Okay.
Judge, can I meet with Ms. Wildman and Ms. Gomez and then Mr. Michelson when he's done?
Yeah, let's just wait till they come back and then I'll put y'all back.
Thank you, Judge.
And Judge,
Yes.
can we have my caseworker Tori Cook brought in as well so that she can hear if we have any announcements?
Yeah.
Thank you, Judge.
Yeah. I have Darlene Flores and Katie Larson.
I think those would be additional witnesses.
Okay.
Yes, Judge, Ms. Flores is my witness as well.
Okay. Okay, where are we at?
If I could meet with Ms. Wildman and Ms. Naranjo and Ms. Gamas, I can tell them what I've discussed.
Right. Okay, where are we?
We've reached an agreement, Your Honor.
Okay. Who
And
wants
Mr.
to?
Ronho will be announcing the terms.
Okay. Mr. Ronho?
Judge, the parties have agreed that Mr. Flores will be named sole managing conservator with all the exclusive rights and duties granted to a sole managing conservator per the Texas Family Code. Ms. Oribides will be named possessory conservator of the child. The child's last name will also be changed. Ms. Oribides will have visits at Family Support Services. They will be at her expense. The time and date of those visits will be as agreed upon by the parties, and she will get up to 1 hour a week for the visits. Child support will be set at minimum wage to start April 1st. Medical support will be set at $50 a month. The parties are to communicate via AppClose, and the child is not to be removed by Ms. Oribides from the counties of Desmond, Potter, Randall, and contiguous counties.
Okay, I'm trying to write all that down. You said the child support and medical support will start when?
April 1st, Your Honor.
Okay. Okay, Mr. Michelson, you've heard her announcement. Is that your client's agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Ms. Gomez, are you in agreement? Did we lose her?
It
Oh,
looks like
yeah,
we
she's
might
back in the waiting room. Hang on. I wasn't watching for her. Did she miss the agreement? Ms. Gomez, you fell off, but did you hear Ms. Naranjo announce the agreement?
Yes, sir.
Okay, are you in agreement?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Ms. Wildman, is the department in agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, all right. Give me just a minute and I'll recite it the best I can. If I miss something, y'all can correct me. Okay, I will approve the agreement reached by the parties. As I heard it, I'll order that Mr. Flores be named sole permanent managing conservator. Ms. Oribides be named permanent possessory conservator. Mother's visitation will be at Family Support Services at her expense at times agreed to by the parties, up to 1 hour weekly. I'll order the mother's child support be set based on minimum wage and medical support be set at $50 per month, both to start on April 1st, 2025 and be due and payable on the same day of each month thereafter until further court order. I'll order that during her periods of possession, the mother not remove the child from Desmond, Potter, or Randall counties or any contiguous counties. Is that pretty much it?
And that the parties will communicate via AppClose, Your Honor.
Parties will communicate what?
Via AppClose.
Oh, via AppClose. Okay. All right. Okay, I'll order. That will be the court's order. Appreciate y'all working that out. Since we have a final resolution in this case, there won't be any further hearings set. So we will stand in recess on this case. For any of you involved, I'll be back at noon to call another Afternoon, Randall County everybody. case. That's
Afternoon,
an
Judge. If I
adversary.
could have a couple more minutes to talk with my client before the.
Okay. Are you, I had Teresa down. Is this your case?
This is mine, and actually the one after this is mine as well, Judge.
Okay.
The let me look at the name.
Yeah.
Sander Cersei case.
Yeah,
That's also mine.
Okay.
But this should only take a couple more minutes, Judge.
All right. You need a breakout room or you just talk to him on the.
I'm on the phone with them right now.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. I've got Tracy Riley in the waiting room. I don't show her on any case today, so I'm going to bring her in and see what she's doing.
I thought she was hired by them.
Could be. I wouldn't necessarily know that.
Oh, okay.
Miss Riley, what case are you here on?
On the Kennedy case,
Okay, and who do you represent?
Christine and Jason Kennedy.
All right, you represent both of them. I still showed Brianna Gomez. Have you done an order substituting for me?
I did not realize she had been appointed. I did file a letter of rep, but I didn't do an order to substitute, but I can get that done today, Judge.
Okay, I'll go ahead and change it. All I need to do, I'll change it here.
Okay.
I'll make a note that we'll get us an order. Ms. Wildman's talking to her client still. So. We're here on an adversary hearing. Ms. Wildman is with us for the department. Ms. Wiggins is with us representing the child. Ms. Riley's with us representing the parents, Mr. and Mrs. Kennedy. And that's all the parties involved. I'll go down the list of who else in the waiting room. Darlene Flores, Linda Kennedy, Katie Larson, Christina Hunter, Aaron Kennedy.
I'm gonna need Katie.
Larson?
Yes, I'm sorry, but Darlene Flores, Your Honor, was on Oyerbides. If we want to bring her in and let her know she's good to go. And how old is Ryan?
She is 8.
And I guess, how did the department get involved with Ryan and her family?
We received a report with concerns about her safety.
And did you make contact with Ryan at any point?
Yes.
And I mean, how did you go about setting that up, or where did you meet with Ryan?
At her school.
And I mean, first off, did Ryan relay those any particular feelings about how she felt at home to you?
Yes.
And what did she say about being at home?
She stated she didn't feel safe being at around her mom, that her mom had some mental health issues that had been going on since she was in first grade, which was 2 years ago, and that it made her feel really worried. She mentioned several different incidents of different times where things had been bad, where mom had thrown things at dad, or mom was hitting dad, things such of that nature.
And so when you spoke with Ryan, did she mention what was the most recent incident that she had mentioned that made her feel unsafe?
Ryan told me that something had happened the Sunday prior to me seeing her, which was just like a couple of days before I saw her. She told me that something was going on with her parents, that they were screaming and yelling at each other, that she got really scared. She didn't tell me the specifics of the argument. She just told me that she went and locked herself in her room and called for help, but that she left the home because she felt unsafe.
And eventually, I mean, did she tell you who came and got her?
Paternal grandfather came and got her.
And did she tell you who she had initially called for help?
Yes, she had initially called paternal grandmother.
Okay. And is it your understanding that paternal grandfather, after being called, he came and did remove her from the home?
Yes.
Now, were there any other, I guess, things that had been going on that Ryan mentioned made her feel unsafe or uncomfortable?
She said she really didn't feel safe in the car with her mom because sometimes her mom would kind of just go off. She mentioned that mom had tried to run them off the road prior to this case last year by grabbing the steering wheel while dad was driving. She also mentioned that mom had tried to run dad off the road recently after like the week that I had seen Ryan, after calling him multiple times at work. She just said she did not feel safe there. That mom is still throwing and breaking things like plates and hitting dad in the head and trying to get him to hit her back so he could go to jail.
Now, I mean, at any point did Ryan say that either of her parents had physically hurt her?
No.
Had they done anything else, or had either of the parents ever done anything else that had made her, that made her sad or upset?
She mentioned that like sometimes during these times where Miss Kennedy was throwing things, that she would break some of Ryan's favorite possessions, and that made her really upset and sad because she likes her items. Yeah. She said her mom she also said it was hard because her mom stayed in bed all day and her dad had to do everything.
Now, did she make any other statements about anything else that made her unsafe in the home?
I believe that was the gist of it.
Okay. And do you recall what day you had talked with her?
On February 27th.
Okay. Now, ultimately, when the court had approved a removal, did you speak with Ryan again?
I have spoken with Ryan, yes.
Okay. And, what sort of thing, what was Ryan's demeanor when she was informed that she was being removed?
She was very understanding. I talked to her about, her safety, and she told me that she still only feels a little bit safe in her house, but not all the way safe, and that she was really more concerned that she didn't have any of her personal belongings and what she was going to be able to wear the next day and that sort of thing.
Did she talk to you about good nights?
Yes.
And did you talk to Ryan about what she needs those for?
Yes, she said that she has been wetting the bed some and that she recently had to start wearing those. And I told her I would make sure we got her some for placement.
Okay. Now, have you talked with Ryan since that removal?
Yes.
And has she relayed to you any changes in her, I guess, and the way she feels about her safety?
I've seen her and spoken to her several times. She seems really happy and she really likes her placement. Whenever I talk to her, she reported that she is wetting her goodnight less and that some mornings she wakes up and it's dry. She seems to be feeling happy where she's at.
Now, prior to removal, did you have the opportunity to talk to Mr. and Mrs. Kennedy?
Yes.
And when did you first make contact with Mrs. Kennedy?
That's the same day I talked to Ryan, which was the 27th of February.
And where did you make contact with her?
At their residence.
And who, I guess, was home when you first made contact?
Ryan and Miss Kennedy.
And did you have a very long conversation with Miss Kennedy at that time?
No.
Was she willing to, what did you tell her the reason you were there was?
So I let her know that we had received a new report and then I needed to discuss that with her. And that we had some significant concerns that we needed to talk about.
And at that point, did you talk to her about doing something like a safety plan?
Yes.
But was she willing to have that conversation at that point?
No. She said that she wanted to speak to an attorney, so I provided her with a 3010 rights for her rights, and I also provided her with the safety plan that we were proposing, which asked for her to move out and for her to be supervised with Ryan.
Okay. And did you give her a time by which she needed to get back in touch with you about that?
Yes, we asked by 10 a.m. the next morning.
Okay. And so was there anything else of note when you made contact with Miss Kennedy that caused concern?
Just that whenever she did open the door, there was a strong smell of marijuana in the house.
Okay. And so Mr. Kennedy was not home at that time, correct?
No.
Did you reach out and make contact with him at any point that day?
Yes, I called him as soon as I left the home.
And you called him on the phone?
Yes.
Okay. And I guess what did you tell him is the reason for your contact with him?
So I explained to him that we had gotten a new report, and I also told him that we needed to go over his notification of rights, but that we had some significant concerns and that Miss Kennedy had declined talking to me before talking to a lawyer. He was pretty friendly and seemed cooperative on the phone, and told me that he would speak to a lawyer and get back to me, that he wanted to make a plan for Ryan's safety. I proposed a family team meeting to happen at our office, and he said that they would be in agreement to do that without an attorney, and that we set one up for the following day.
Okay. And so when you talked to him on the phone, did he seem, I guess, surprised that there had been a report?
No, he felt like his family had reported this, saying that they were causing a lot of drama, and that his family was wanting the parents to get divorced. And he felt like that's where this report was coming from.
Did he make any comments about, I guess, Ryan's mental health or needs?
He did say that their priority was for Ryan's safety, and he knew that Ryan needed to have a therapist, and they had been planning to do that. They just haven't done it yet.
And so, were you able to have a family team meeting with Mr. and Mrs. Kennedy?
Yes, we had it the following day.
And was anybody else present for that meeting?
Yes, Randall Kennedy was present,
And who's Randall Kennedy?
the paternal grandfather.
And I mean, was it just you, or was there anybody else from the department present?
The facilitator, Karen Cressup, and my supervisor, Melody Zuniga.
Okay. And at that point, were you able to discuss, I guess, the reports and the issues a little bit more in depth?
Yes, we were able to go over all of that with them.
Okay. And what sort of concerns did you and the Kennedys discuss at that meeting?
Specifically the ongoing mental health issues that Miss Kennedy has. We discussed an incident that happened over Christmas break in North Carolina, where she had to be detained. We discussed how Ryan felt, that she didn't feel safe in the home, and we included details of her interview for them. And we discussed basically how we felt that she was not in a safe place at this point, and we were trying to come up with a safety intervention.
Now, when trying to come up with that plan during this meeting, was the idea of Mrs. Kennedy moving out of the home brought up?
Yes, that was our primary goal, or that was what we had hoped we could do. But the family said that they were not in agreement to do that, that they've already been separated due to a previous charge that Miss Kennedy picked up late last year, and that they weren't going to be separated again. They said that it would be detrimental to the progress they have made for them to be separated.
And so did they acknowledge, I guess, a need for the family to work services in any way?
They really felt like things were going well for them. They're in marriage counseling. They did agree to work services at that point, but they really deflected most of the concerns, stating that Mr. Kennedy's family, his mother specifically, was making this all out to be a lot worse than it is, or making Ryan believe things that weren't true, and that like they really didn't feel like this was all necessary.
Okay. And after that family team meeting, I mean, what sort of, I guess, plan was put in place?
The plan that we came up with was actually for Randall Kennedy to move into the home, for them to work family-based safety services, and they also agreed to drug screen during that process. And so we put that plan in place that Miss Kennedy would not have any unsupervised contact with Ryan.
Okay. And so I guess what were the concerns regarding drug screening?
The marijuana for one, and for two, that there could be something more substantial going on based on the behaviors that we're seeing.
Now, did you discuss with the parents, I guess, what kind of medications that they were already on and they disclosed?
Yes.
And what had Mr. Kennedy disclosed?
He did disclose that he uses the THCA products that he sells at his company. And so he would come back positive for THC, but that it was a legal form. He also disclosed using Adderall for ADHD and Xanax for anxiety.
And did you talk with Mrs. Kennedy about what medication she may be on?
Yes, she stated she used those same 3 things, as well as Pristiq for depression and clonidine for anxiety and ADHD.
Okay. And to be clear, after the family team meeting, you met with them again? Is that accurate?
Yes, I completed a parent interview with them after the family team meeting, just by myself.
And is that where this came up?
Yes.
And so what, I mean, was the domestic violence discussed?
They denied ongoing domestic violence. They denied some of the things that Ryan had told me, such as the incident where that week Miss Kennedy had tried to run Mr. Kennedy off the road. And they also denied any recent physical attacks of Miss Kennedy on Mr. Kennedy.
Okay. And so after this meeting, I mean, what was sort of their demeanor as far as moving forward with the department's plans?
They were really, they actually said they were excited, that they felt like this was actually going to get them on a better page, that it would just kind of help them along faster. They were in agreement to everything that we said. Miss Kennedy said they might just go ahead and go drug screen like then, because she needed to use the restroom anyways. And so they left and everything seemed good.
Now, did they drug screen for the department the next day?
No.
What kind of communication did you have with the parents, I guess, that following day, if any?
I just got a text message that Saturday from Mr. Kennedy stating that they're not going to move forward with the blood panels that we discussed, and that he provided an attorney's name and phone number, asking me to contact them with any questions or concerns that we might have. I responded just letting him know that it was a urine drug screen, and asked him if he would help me understand if he was saying no to just the drug screen or also to the safety plan and the services that they had agreed to. He did not respond to me, so that was kind of where we left things.
Did you have any contact with Mr. Kennedy again after that?
The only other contact I had from him was later in the week, saying that he had a attorney consult scheduled.
Okay. So do you recall what day that was?
Let me double check. March 3rd. He said that they were anticipating it to be done on Wednesday of that week.
Okay. Had you attempted to relay any other information to them in the meantime?
I did speak with the attorney he gave me. He was not licensed in the state of Texas, and he did not practice family law. He basically said that.
And that's fine. Did you email them any other like service providers or anything to get anything started in that?
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, I sent Miss Kennedy a list of counselors for Ryan.
Did you hear anything back from her?
She did respond saying thank you, and thank you for your patience, basically.
Okay. And let me, I guess, follow up on that. Was there anything concerning about the delay in the parents getting back to you?
Yes.
And why was that concerning?
We had already put a safety plan in place that Ryan was going to be supervised with Christine at all times, and that they were going to do all, these things to mitigate our concerns for her safety. And the fact that they did not respond and were not getting back to us made us really very concerned that they were not going to move forward with any of the things they had agreed to.
Now, in this time period, did you have any kind of follow up with Ryan?
No.
What about on March 3rd? Did you have contact with Ryan?
Sorry, so many things. Yes, I did. I did have contact with her.
Now, was she able to confirm that her grandfather was living with them?
He did say he stayed with him for the weekend.
Okay. And What did she say about what was going on at home?
She said that he was going to stay there until she feels safe. She only felt a little bit safe, and that right now her parents are not arguing because they didn't want Pops to see them do that.
Yeah. Did she say anything else that Mr. Kennedy had told her to do or not do?
Not to talk to the school counselors anymore because she was going to be getting a counselor outside of school.
Was that concerning?
Yes.
And why was that concerning?
Because Ryan felt like, her counselor at school was a safe person that she could go to. And she has in the past talked to her when she didn't feel safe. So to cut that off is almost like a lifeline she had in case she didn't feel safe.
Ultimately, what do you believe the department in this time period was trying to make reasonable efforts to prevent the need for removal?
Yes.
And what effort specifically do you think that the department made to avoid the removal?
We put in a safety plan. We had a family team meeting. We tried to continue contact with the family, continued investigating by talking to others that are aware of the situation, but ultimately did not hear back from anybody or an attorney within this time period.
Yeah. And specifically, how long of a time period did you give the family to start working these services or make contact with the department again before pursuing removal?
So there was no specific date on this agreement that we made, because we were unaware that they were trying to contact an attorney and they had already signed the agreement and safety plan with us.
Was it concerning that they had signed the safety plan and then still hadn't or on February 28th, but still hadn't contacted the department by March 5th?
Yes.
Why does that cause you concern?
Because of the ongoing violence and, I guess for lack of better words, episodes that Miss Kennedy has been known to have, and Ryan feeling like she's still not safe in the home.
And is that why the department sought removal?
Yes.
Okay. Let me see. Now, have you had any contact with the parents since the removal?
Yes.
And I guess what have you attempted to engage them in services?
I have not. St. Francis is typically the ones that do that.
Well, what was the nature of the conversations that you've had with them?
The first conversations I had with them were to let them know of the removal and ask them if they would bring Ryan some of her belongings, and that I would give them the removal paperwork so that they had that as well.
Now, let me kind of take a step back here. And after that decision of removal, did you believe that the child's physical or emotional well-being would be at risk if she remained in the home with her parents?
Yes.
And is that why you sought the removal orders?
Yes.
Okay. And at this point, have you had any further discussions with the Kennedy family about working services? Or has that shifted over to the St. Francis caseworker?
Yes, St. Francis.
Okay. Let me see. Give me 1 minute. As far as the department's involvement, have there been any other referrals to the department regarding the family?
Yes.
And how long ago were those other referrals?
The first referral was in December of 2023, and the second was in September of 2024.
When you talked to the Kennedys, were they able to outline any sort of things that they had done in the meantime to try to address the issues?
Yes, they talked about that Miss Kennedy had gone to the Amen clinic to get a more thorough evaluation of her mental health, and that she was working with them to try to stabilize her medications and her moods. And they also talked about starting marriage counseling for themselves.
But did they say anything about having gotten Ryan into counseling in between those referrals?
They still had not done that.
Okay. And even with the efforts that Mrs. Kennedy was taking, were there still concerns about the ongoing behavior?
Yes.
And again, did that play into the department's urgent need, fear feeling, or did the department feel based on that there was an urgent need to protect the child?
Yes.
And just based off of the concerns the department had, was there no time consistent with the circumstances to have had this adversary before removal?
Right.
I'll pass the witness, Judge.
All right, thank you, Ms. Riley.
Thank you, Judge. So Ms. Larson, just, I want to make sure I understand. So you talked to my clients and they agreed to follow a safety plan on the 28th of February. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. And then what exactly, I mean, I know that Randall Kennedy moving in was part of that plan. Is that right?
Yes.
And Randall Kennedy was supposed to make sure that Christine was not alone with Ryan. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. And then you wanted them to drug test.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Was there anything else that you asked them to do at that point in time?
That they agreed to do an assessment with family-based safety services for ongoing services.
Okay. And was that assessment ever set up?
So it wasn't, because Mr. Kennedy texted that he had an attorney.
Okay. But so let's go to then, you hear from Jason Kennedy and he says, hey, listen, he says, we're going to get we need to get an attorney, right?
Yes.
And did Mr. Kennedy explain to you that that was because of their business and he had some concerns about drug testing when he's in the business of selling CBD products?
So he didn't explain very little to me. That was part of the concern we had.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, you testified a second ago that one of your major concerns was that you hadn't heard from the parents from the 28th when they signed until the 5th when you did the removal, right?
Other than the text message that he sent me.
Okay.
About the attorney and about getting an attorney set up.
Okay, so on March 3rd, Jason texted you and said, hey, I have a consultation set up. I really appreciate your patience in waiting for us to get a lawyer, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, did you respond to him and said, hey, you're out of time, either start doing this services or there's going to be consequences?
No.
In fact, you didn't respond to him at all, right?
Nope.
So you didn't tell him, you got to get a lawyer today, otherwise we're going to remove your kid.
So I did ask him if they were still following the safety plan and still willing to do the services, but he was not responsive to that. So
Judge, I'd ask that be stricken as non-responsive.
Overrule.
Okay, my question, Ms. Larson, is did you say to him, if, that you have to have a lawyer now or, we're going to remove your child?
No.
Okay. And so at that point in time, you did though talk to Randall Kennedy on 2 occasions during that time frame from the time that they signed the agreement until the time of removal, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and Randall Kennedy told you both times that he was living at the home, right?
Object to hearsay. Randall Kennedy is not a party to the case and hasn't been called as a witness yet.
Sustain.
Okay, well, you testified earlier that you talked to Ryan and Ryan said that Randall was there, right?
Yes.
Okay, and she said that Ryan was going to stay with her and that was the plan going forward.
Randall, yes.
I'm sorry, Ryan said Randall would, yes.
Yes.
And so as far as the agency's, as far as your awareness at that point in time, though, is it fair to say that you did not have any information to the contrary that Randall Kennedy was living there and was supervising the way that you'd asked him to?
Yes.
Okay, so at least as far as that part of the plan was going the way the department asked for it to go.
Yes.
All right. Now you got a letter from, and I'm not asking you what he said, but you did get a letter or an email from an attorney, correct?
It was actually all by phone call, but yes. He said he sent me an email. I never got an email. So
Okay.
I don't, yeah.
Okay, but he talked to you and without saying what he said, would you agree with me that he explained to you what the concerns that the Kennedys had?
Yes.
All right. Did you at any point in time give that attorney a deadline and say, listen, if you guys don't get things together by X date, we're going to remove?
No.
Right. At any point prior to the removal, did you tell Mrs. Kennedy that if she didn't do X, Y, or Z that you were going to remove?
No.
All right. After the removal, did you have a conversation with Mr. and Mrs. Kennedy about the removal?
Yes, I did.
All right. Did you tell them that initially you wanted to do an order to participate?
I did.
All right. And so you originally informed them that even after you found all this out, you were going to let the child or let Ryan remain at home. Is that right?
Yes, with an order.
Right. And so your plan, having done this investigation and having consulted with supervisors, was that Ryan should remain at home with an order that her parents cooperate with the service plan. Is that right?
And supervision.
Well, supervision would be included in that safety plan. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. And you testified on direct that you felt that there was an urgent need to protect the child that necessitated her removal. Do you remember testifying that?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
Sorry, you testified on direct examination that you felt there was an urgent need to protect the child, and that's why you did a removal. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. And yet you told my clients that you weren't going to remove the child and that instead you were going to file an order to participate, leaving the child at home as long as they were ordered to cooperate with services.
To clarify, we asked for legal intervention. It's really not our call to make whether it's an OTP or removal.
Objection, Judge. I'm going to ask that that be stricken as non-responsive.
Sustained.
Okay. So my question is, though, you told my clients that you, regardless of what the legal status is, you told my clients, hey, I tried to go get an order to participate that was going to leave Ryan at your house and was just going to have her, you guys would have to do services, right? That's what you told them.
Right.
Okay. And you told them that the only reason why you had to remove was why?
That they did not feel safe with Ryan being in the same home with Miss Kennedy.
Well, what did you tell Christine and Jason was the reason that you had to do a removal?
That's what I just said.
Well, didn't you tell them
that legal didn't feel safe with her being in the home with Miss Kennedy?
Actually, didn't you tell them specifically that the judge said no and that the judge said that the child had to be removed?
I don't think those were my specific words, but basically.
Okay. And so basically you told my clients that even though the department felt like the child remaining at home was fine, that the judge for some reason disagreed.
Judge, I want to object to a little mischaracterization of what she said. I think she answered what she said to them and then she clarified.
Sustained.
Well, Judge, if I could, I think I'm trying to clarify because I think those were two different things that were testified to. So I really am just trying to get an honest impression of what they were told.
Well, let's just do one at a time so we'll know for sure.
Okay. Okay, so let me ask a better question. So you testified on direct examination that you had concerns about the child's physical and emotional well-being that warranted removal. Is that right?
Yes.
All right. But you did not have those concerns when you first went to go do an order to participate. Is that right?
I don't know that I can say that truly. My goal was to do a legal intervention to make Ryan safe. So the first objective was yes, in order to participate.
All right. And I'm going to assume because of that, you felt like there were things that the department could do that would allow Ryan to be safe without removing her from her home.
Yes.
All right. But
in cooperation.
Okay. And then instead of doing those, she was removed.
Yes.
All right. Nothing changed. Well, and I'm going to ask it instead of, but so am I correct that nothing changed from the moment that you first decided, we can put an order in place that will keep the child at home until when you removed her?
Well, it was reviewed by legal, yes, and they felt that was not appropriate based on the affidavit that was read.
Well, when you say legal, who's that?
The judge.
Okay, so you don't mean your attorneys, correct?
Correct.
All right, so you had brought the case to a supervisor, is that fair?
Mm-hmm.
And your supervisor had agreed that leaving the child in the home with an order to participate was appropriate.
Yes, initially.
All right. So you didn't receive any new information from Ryan before you removed, right?
No.
And you didn't receive any new information about the Kennedys before you removed?
No.
Okay. Or from anyone else before you did the removal?
I try to object. It kind of is edging on attorney-client relationship conversation that they had with their legal on which way to go.
Overrule.
Okay. So, so now okay. So in the removal, you stated that, well, to your knowledge, do you know whether or not, did you ever follow back up again to see whether or not Randall Kennedy was residing in the home?
Just the times you mentioned already.
Did you go to the house to observe anything about what was going on between the 27th or the 28th and I think it's the 5th when Ryan was removed?
I did not, because they stated they wanted to speak with an attorney first.
Okay. When you spoke to Ryan on the 3rd, is it fair to say that Ryan said that things were better for her?
With grandpa there, yes.
All right. So the fighting had decreased?
Yeah. No, she didn't clarify that.
Well, didn't you specifically state that she said her parents were not fighting now that her grandpa was there?
I guess so, yeah. Because they didn't want him to see that.
Right. So the fighting had stopped.
Or I guess
Ryan.
Mm-hmm.
And she said that she felt a little bit safe, which would you agree is better than the not safe that she said earlier?
Yes.
Okay. And so the child is actually as of March 3rd, the child's in a better position, according to your report, than she was at initial intake.
Yes.
All right. Now, Christine Kennedy has provided information to you regarding her mental health issues. Is that fair?
As far as, I'm not sure as far as her medications, yes.
Well, she's had conversations with you where she's gone into detail about her diagnosis.
A little bit, yeah. Yeah. And what she's taking and how much she's taking.
All right. In your affidavit for the removal, isn't it true that you detail that Christine talked to you about what she was initially diagnosed with, what she takes Xanax for, what she takes Adderall for, what she does with depression, and all of those things?
Yeah.
She detailed for you where she's going to get treatment for at the Amen Clinic.
Yes.
She and Mr. Kennedy explained to you that she withdrawn. So you mentioned there were 2 incidences in the past with the department in December of 23 and then in September of 24, correct?
Yes.
All right. And isn't it true that Christine and Jason told you that there was a mental health diagnosis that happened after one of those incidences that she was then medicated for?
I believe it was during that, yes.
And then that she'd really been struggling with medication issues and working with medical providers to try to get her medication right.
She just told me she was titrating off of Xanax. They didn't tell me they didn't specifically tell me she was struggling trying to get her medications right. Just that she wanted to be able to get off Xanax and they were trying to slowly wean her off of that. So she wasn't on that anymore.
Okay, so when you had a conversation with Jason Kennedy on February 27th, didn't he specifically tell you that there was an incorrect bipolar diagnosis and that he and Christine had been working with medical providers to assist in getting their medication correct?
Yes.
Okay. And so Christine has provided you photographs of all of her prescriptions, right?
Yes.
So has Jason.
Yes.
And they've been very forthcoming about the fact that they do use legal CBD products.
Yes.
All right. And since the removal, would you agree with me that Jason and Christine have explained a lot more in detail as to what their concerns were about drug testing?
Yes, they just told me they were concerned about that we could I think that I don't know if it was them or the attorney I talked to, that we could remove her for marijuana.
Okay. Now they both have drug tested, is that right?
Yes.
Okay. And you informed them both that they tested for marijuana, is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Now the test, you'd agree with me that the test that's provided though cannot distinguish between legal forms of tetrahydrocannabinol and illegal forms of it, correct?
Yes.
So things that might be legal, Delta 8, well, all of those things, we don't know.
Right.
All right. So when you say things like the house smelled like marijuana, you're not able to differentiate, are you, between whether or not it was illegal marijuana or some sort of legal CBD product, are you?
No.
Okay. So you don't have any reason to not believe them if they say, hey, yeah, it's a legal product.
Right.
Okay. Now, so in terms of things that they've done to try to deal with the issues they've been having, would you agree with me that they've actually gone to great lengths to try to get Miss Kennedy the mental health treatment she needs?
I do think that they have tried to do that.
Okay. And they're in marriage counseling, is that right?
That is what they told me.
All right. Now, Christine, you said on direct examination that there was some sort of protective order or charges that were pending before. Is that right?
Yes.
All right. And to your knowledge, Christine followed all of the rules that she had to follow in that case.
Actually, no, not at the beginning. That was part of our investigation in September, that there was a protective order and she was still living in the home.
All right.
Against the court order.
Christine moved out though and spent 4 months living elsewhere while the bond condition was in place. Is that right?
Yes, after CPS intervened, yes.
Okay, but she spent 4 months living somewhere else. And did they explain to you why that was, problematic for their marriage and their relationship with their child?
They just said it was detrimental to them, that it was really hard for them.
Well, and would you agree that that is something that would be hard for a child of Ryan's age to have her mother in the house and then gone?
I'm just object to speculation.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear the objection.
Speculation.
Overruled. Go ahead.
I don't remember the question now.
Oh, hey, I'm sorry. Would you agree that that is something that could be difficult for a child of Ryan's age to have her mother, in her home and then removed from her home for 4 months?
It could be.
Okay. And so is it understandable why, or did you understand why the Kennedys wanted to find a way to work with the department and yet have Christine remain at home?
Yes.
Okay. Now I think, just real quickly, the last thing is, I think at one point in time on direct examination, you said that Jason, and maybe I got it wrong. I'll ask a better question. Would you agree that Jason was very agreeable to trying to work services with the department?
At first, yes.
Okay. And that when you met with the two of them, they seemed very invested in trying to find solutions that would help their daughter and help them.
During our initial encounter, yes.
Okay. And that since the removal, the Kennedys have told you that they've maintained that same attitude, right? They've said they've shown or told you that they are invested in trying to do whatever it takes to get Ryan home and to keep Ryan safe. Is that right?
Tracy, I really haven't had very many conversations with them. They did tell me they are willing to do whatever we want. That was about the gist of our conversation. I think they speak a lot more to St. Francis than me.
That's fair enough. But they did at least tell you, we'll do whatever it takes.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
All right. They brought you belongings for Ryan.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And Christine wrote a letter to Ryan. Is that true?
Yes.
but asked you to look at it first to make sure it was appropriate.
Yes.
And was it appropriate?
Yes, it was.
Okay. They've had visits with their daughter.
Yes.
All right. And have their visits been appropriate?
As far as I know, I haven't had any report that they weren't.
So no issues. Have you gotten a report as to how Ryan is when she sees her mom?
They don't send me the reports, so
Okay, fair
I
enough.
don't know. I'm sorry.
No. Bad question on my part. All right, pass the witness.
Ms. Wiggins?
Would you agree that it's a concern that when you walk into a house and you smell marijuana and a child is residing in that home,
Yes.
whether it's legal or illegal?
Yes.
And in regards to the department's issues, they indicated when you met with them that they would drug screen for you by March 1st. Is that correct?
Yes.
Did they drug screen by March 1st?
No.
And they gave you the same reason of it'll be positive for THC because that's what we're using, correct?
Correct.
And you said, okay, just drug screen for me. Is that correct? I mean, did you acknowledge what they said and then said, please?
I explained to them that that's not something we can remove for. So yes, we had a conversation about that.
Okay. And in regards to Ryan, would you agree with me that when you add interventions like putting someone else in the home and the child still doesn't feel safe, that that's a concern?
Yes.
Because that's the goal, is we need to do these interventions for the child to be 100% safe.
Right. Yes.
And in regards to the child's safety, the parent said to you very explicitly, we are not getting the mom out of the home.
Yes.
So there was nothing else that theoretically the department could do in regard to placement issues other than if Randall being in the home was not guaranteeing her safety.
Correct.
Okay, I'll pass the witness.
All right. Anyone have further questions for Ms. Larson?
I do have further questions, Your Honor, and if I may, I forgot to have us bring in our St. Francis caseworker. That was Christina Hunter. I think when we brought Ms. Flores in to dismiss her,
Okay.
that had slipped my mind if we could bring her in. But I just had
Wait a minute. Let me ask you, Ms. Wildman and Ms. Wiggins, you're involved in our next hearing, which is supposed to be starting now. That's a status hearing on Sergi Sanders. The only other person I see, Laura Kopp, is involved. We've got until March 30th. I assume we've got a lot more than just this witness in this case, and we're already over time. So y'all have any problem with moving the status hearing on the Sergi Sanders to a later date?
We already have a motion hearing for that case set for, I believe, the 24th, Judge. I don't think
Excuse me, I show it for March
It's the
31st.
31st. I'm sorry, today is the 24th.
Yeah, let's do that. That's only going to buy you another 30 minutes. So I'm gonna get Ms. Kopp in and let her know. Other questions, Ms. Wildman?
Yes, Judge, and I'll try to keep it brief. Miss Larson, when we talked about kind of what had changed during that period from February 28th to March 5th, you said nothing had changed. Oh, sorry.
I'm very sorry to interrupt again. Ms. Gomez, if you'd unmute.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I don't, were you here for the Kennedy case?
Yes, sir. I had that down for 1 o'clock.
Okay, you had it right. No, it was set for noon, but it's moot now. The parents have both hired Tracy Riley, and she's here for that hearing. So I didn't know that until she showed up. So anyway, they're going to get us an order to substitute. So you will be off of this as far as representing Miss Kennedy. Miss Kennedy. So you're free to go.
Excellent. Apologize for the wrong time.
That's all right. Okay, we're covered.
Thank you, guys.
You're excused. All right, I won't interrupt you again, Sam.
That's all right, Judge. And Miss Larson, based on your testimony and answering the questions for Mrs. Riley, I mean, is it fair to say that the cooperation changed between those dates?
Yes.
Is it concerning that despite everything Christine has done, that they still haven't gotten Ryan into treatment?
Yes.
And based off what you had discussed with Ms. Riley, is it concerning that the behaviors that existed prior to that first protective order started up again once she returned to the home?
Yes.
Has Ryan told you how she feels or how she felt about her mother being out of the home.
She told me that it was hard because her dad and her grandpa were having to do everything, but that it otherwise went well. That's what Ryan told me.
Okay. And so, I mean, regardless of what had been stated before, I mean, based off of that change in cooperation, I mean, is it your testimony today that you believe that there was an urgent need to protect the child and that remaining home would have been a danger to her physical health and safety?
Yes.
And I'll pass the witness, Judge.
Anyone else further questions for this witness?
No, Your Honor.
Okay.
No,
All
Your
right.
Honor.
Does Ms. Larson need to stay around or can she be excused?
I think she could stay, Judge.
Okay. All right. All right. Then Ms. Wildman, your next witness.
And then the department would call Christina Hunter with St. Francis.
Okay.
Have you had the opportunity since coming on that case to meet with Ryan?
I have not physically met with Ryan yet, no.
Have you spoken with or met with her parents, Christine and Jason?
Yes, I have.
So what kind of visitation are Christine and Jason having with Ryan right now?
They're both having weekly visitation with her separately of each other.
Okay, and what is the reason for the visitation being separate?
Due to the domestic violence between the two of them.
Okay. And so are they having visits on different days or is it close together? Or what's the actual plan right now?
Currently, they are actually having visitation on different days.
Okay. And how has visitation gone with Mr. Kennedy?
Visitation has gone great.
And how has visitation gone with Mrs. Kennedy?
Great as well.
Okay. Have you talked with them at all about services and things that St. Francis can help them get set up?
Yes, I have.
Have they set anything up yet at this point?
I've not followed up with them in regards to any services that they may have set up on their own. With my conversations with them previously, I have not come up with a family plan or reviewed that with them yet. However, we did discuss what they felt that they needed assistance on, as well as things that they wanted to work on themselves as well.
Okay. And have they, in your experience, been receptive to working on those things?
We honestly, I felt like we had a really in-depth and honest conversation. I spent, I would say roughly from 1 o'clock to roughly about 7 p.m. that day, speaking with both of them. They were very forthcoming in things of their history, as well as things that they felt that they are currently needing as well.
Okay. And just what sort of things did you guys come up with that they wanted to work on?
I know that they both told me that they had some reservations in regards to taking medication, and they would like to find alternatives that they could maintain appropriate mental health and healthy mental health, as well as potentially possibly titrating off the medications that they're currently on. They both mentioned that they both have struggled with having a healthy relationship with medication in the past due to prior issues. Miss Christine specifically mentioned that she's had some pretty severe side effects in the past and is currently wanting to work with her psychiatrist to be able to titrate off. Jason mentioned that he does not have a psychiatrist at the moment, but he is willing to look into helping to find one. He's generally just used his his family prac to be able to get his medication.
Have they talked at all about sort of what they're hoping that the department can do for Ryan?
They've actually just mentioned that in total that they're hoping that we can be able to help their family be stronger as a whole and to reunify. They mentioned that just being able to have some additional supports and guidance in regards to, therapy, those types of things as well. I mentioned that we would be willing to pay for their therapy as far as individual therapy. I know that they are currently actively engaged with a marriage therapist. And I also mentioned that we could potentially contract with their marriage counselor as well to be able to cover the cost of that.
Now does the department have in your contact with the family, have you had any concerns about the way that they may feel about Ryan coming forward and discussing the issues at home?
There was mention that they didn't feel that Ryan was being fully truthful in what she had come forward with. However, I discussed with them that it's not about whether they believe, or I believe that's how Ryan feels. And at this point, it's about making sure that we all work together to help Ryan to feel comfortable and to feel safe and to ensure that she always feels safe and comfortable in her home moving forward.
And did they seem receptive to your, I guess, phrasing it in that way?
Yes.
Now, at this point, I mean, is Ryan having any visitation with anybody else in the family?
She does have phone communication with her other relatives.
Are there any concerns about any of that this
Not
time?
as of the moment, no.
As far as any concerns or needs for Ryan, is there anything the court needs to be made aware of at this time?
As of the moment, no.
I will pass the witness, Judge.
All right. Ms. Hunter, is Ryan in counseling yet?
She is currently on a wait list to get in with her therapist. The therapist that was selected for her doesn't have any availability till like the very beginning of April.
Okay. And who's that?
It's Lynn Stevens.
Okay. Lynn Stevens or Lynn Jennings?
Sorry, Jennings. Sorry.
I was gonna say, I didn't know Lynn Stevens.
Sorry. I got one too many names in my head today.
And if you could just tell me where Ryan's currently placed, the type of facility in city or county?
She is placed in Randall County. She's actually currently placed locally. She's in an emergency shelter for the moment.
Okay.
Judge, she is in equine therapy as well. I don't know if you wanted to know that.
Yeah, I sure do.
Yeah, they're at her placement. They do equine therapy.
Is that something new since removal?
Yes, they just started doing that.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm a big believer in equine therapy, so that's good to hear.
That's cool.
Okay. Okay. Ms. Riley, questions for Ms. Hunter?
Yeah, just, I know you said that you talked to the parents about, it's not about whether or not it's true or not, it's just based on that's how she feels, talking about Ryan, is that right?
Yes.
Okay, and I think what you mean by that is like, if Ryan doesn't feel safe, then the parents need to address that.
Yes.
And so that's regardless of whether or not, so regardless of whether or not she actually is safe, if she doesn't feel safe, that's something that you feel the parents should handle.
Generally, from my experience, most children won't say that they don't feel safe if they felt safe. So the way I approached it was that if, everybody is entitled to their feelings, the Kennedys are allowed to have their feelings in regards to the situation, just as Ryan is, and respecting each other's feelings and ensuring that she feels secure and safe is what's important at the end of the day.
Right. Okay. But my question is that I think what you're saying is, even if Ryan were safe at home, if she feels unsafe, then that's something you think that the Kennedys should address. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. And in that long conversation you had with the Kennedys, did they explain to you that they would be willing to do anything necessary to have their daughter return home?
Yes.
All right. Did you discuss with them Christine moving out of the house?
No, I did not.
Okay. To your knowledge, has anyone asked them if Christine would be willing to move out of the house if it meant that Ryan could come home?
I'm not aware of that. I know the Kennedys mentioned it to me being brought up. They didn't specify by whom, but I told them that I didn't feel like that would be something that would be beneficial, as this is now the third case that they've had regarding similar circumstances. And in order for the family unit to be strong as a whole, we needed to work on the family as a whole.
Okay. And there's nothing as of yet that you've asked the Kennedys to do that they have not done. Is that right?
I did leave Christine with a few items that she would need, that I suggested that she work on to kind of give herself a leg up, essentially, such as locating like an OBGYN, looking into seeing if they could find like a local PCP, essentially, and as well as seeing if there was a local hormone therapist that could be able to also assist her. And then I also left the Kennedys with a little bit of, I call it like homework, just suggesting to them to take like the last 30 minutes of their day to not to put down electronics and turn the TV off and just spend that time for them to communicate with each other, as well as maybe doing some 15 minutes of journaling to state had a good day, bad day. So that way, when days are getting rougher, they have some times to be able to look back and see the progress that they are making.
Okay. And I'm sorry, I'm confused because my question was, is there anything they've been asked to do that they're not doing? So are those things that you just listed off things that they're not doing?
No, I don't know if they are or not. Those were just the things that I have asked. Again, I have not followed up with them.
Okay, so to your knowledge, anything they've been asked to do so far, they've done.
Again, I don't know yes or no to that.
Okay. And have you had any conversations with Randall Kennedy?
I have not.
Okay. And in that discussion with the Kennedys, with Jason and Christine, was Christine upfront with you about her mental health issues?
Yes.
And did she discuss in detail the things that she's doing to try to ameliorate the outside effects of her mental health issues?
Yes.
And would you agree with me that she provided information about all, her treatment, psychiatrists, therapists, and medications?
Yes.
Pass the witness.
Ms. Wiggins?
And just to clarify, sorry if I could say that word, just to clarify, all your conversations happened after the removal, is that correct?
Yes.
And you've met with the child since the removal?
I have not met her yet. I'm out to go see her this week.
Okay, but she's at the High Plains Children's Home, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Pass the witness, Judge.
All right, anyone else? Okay. Ms. Wildman, any other witnesses?
Yes, Your Honor. The department was going to call Erin Kennedy if she is still in the waiting room.
She is. We are going to have to get a lot more realistic about the times on these cases, Ms. Wildman, you and Ms. Gutierrez both.
Yes, Judge, I apologize. And I will try to keep the questions fairly brief.
All right, Ms. Kennedy, Erin Kennedy, this is Judge Graham. If you'd unmute, please.
And so it's fair to say you've known Jason Kennedy his whole life or your whole life.
Correct. And I've
How long-
known Christine for over probably 15 years.
How did you meet Christine?
I met her where we used to work. She used to come into my bar and then she started working with me and we became close.
So did you know her before she married your brother?
Correct.
Now, what kind of relationship have you had with Jason and Christine in the past?
Very good. Very close.
And describe why you feel that it was a close relationship.
I mean, we would talk all the time. I was like best friends with her. I used to vacation with her in St. Thomas. I moved down there. She used to come visit me. I'd go over to their house and cook and babysit. I mean, normal, good friend, good close brother relationship.
Now, at that time, where were you all living?
In Virginia.
Okay. And is that where you currently live?
I live in Maryland, but close. Yeah, it's very close.
Now, what kind of relationship do you have currently with Ryan?
Pretty close. I mean, I supported them moving to Texas when nobody else did. I said it was a good idea. My brother started a business. They were doing really good, very supportive. I'm close with Ryan. I get to see her as much as I can now that they've moved, but.
Now, do you and Ryan talk over the phone or through any social media or anything like that?
I mean, honestly, since all of this has been going on, I haven't really been able to talk to her too much because.
But before all of this happened, were you having contact with Ryan?
Yes.
Okay. And how often were you talking to Ryan?
I don't know, maybe once a month or whatever.
Okay.
They've always been busy, with their business. So I try to just kind of, sit back and let them do them without bugging anyone.
Okay. And so has Ryan talked to you at all about how she feels being at home?
Judge, I didn't check without a time frame. I don't know when we're talking about.
Okay.
And I can narrow it down. When was the last time you talked with Ryan?
The last time I talked to her was Valentine's Day, February 14th of this year. Okay. She called me.
And did you talk to her or did she talk to you at all about how she was feeling at home at that time?
Well, she called me because her parents were arguing. And honestly, she doesn't call me that much when they're arguing. She calls my mom, Linda. So
Kennedy,
the fact that
Ms. Kennedy, I'm going to break up my question. So if
Okay.
you just want to answer the one question and then we'll follow up.
Sure.
That way the court reporter can kind of follow things a little bit better. Sure. So you said that her parents were arguing. How did you know that?
I could hear them in the background. And she told me.
Okay. And do you easily recognize Jason and Christine's voices?
Yeah.
And what did you hear them saying in the background?
I couldn't really make it out But I did hear Jason say, I'm taking our child to the office. And that was it. And I told Ryan, listen to her dad and just go. And they didn't know I was on the phone, and she left it. Like, she just left the counter and went with her dad, and I hung up so they wouldn't know that she had called me.
When you say you couldn't make out any of the other words, I mean, what were their voices raised? What did it sound like?
It was raised and stern, but I mean, it's probably because Ryan was there, and I'm assuming they were trying not to be loud, but you know, she could hear them and I could hear them, but they were in their bedroom.
Judge, I'm going to object to that and ask that be stricken as speculation.
Sustain. Everything past you assumed it was because of, so sustain.
Okay. And
okay, well, I heard them loudly talking, sternly and arguing.
Okay.
Yes.
And so, is that, I mean, you've known them for quite a while. Is that an unusual way for them to speak to each other?
As of lately, no.
And what do you mean as of lately?
Like the last 2 years.
What sort of changes have you seen personally in the way Jason and Christine interact over the last couple of years?
Objection to relevance, Judge?
Yeah, what is the relevance of that?
Your Honor, we've already put in, and it's been testified to, that there were previous cases involving CPS within the last 2 years, and that the behaviors have continued. I think it's relevant because Ms. Kennedy can add additional context to the timeline that's already been offered up in testimony.
All right, let's keep it really short, Ms. Wildman.
Yeah.
So,
and just generally over the last couple of years, like I said, how has that changed?
Well, I was called to go down there to help out, and I witnessed her screaming at him, chasing the postman, thinking the postman was out to get her. So I witnessed it in the house firsthand.
You remember when that was?
Yes. November 23rd or the beginning of November 2023.
Okay. And so, who called you down there?
Judge, I'm going to object
Jason
to
did.
further questions about things that happened in November of 2023.
overruled. And I didn't get the date when she was there.
I was there at the beginning of November of 2023. So this has been going on since then.
Okay. And who called you? And when you say down, I'm assuming you're coming from where you're living down.
Correct. Jason called me, and I was on a plane there the next day.
What did he say to you that made you go that quickly?
I mean, I know that she's been going through things, and I thought it was slightly urgent that they're calling me to help to watch Ryan to keep her occupied so he could deal with Christine.
How long were you here?
A week.
Okay. And I say here, were they still living in Canyon, Texas at the time?
Correct.
Okay. And when you left, I mean, were things better?
No, she had kicked me and my brother out of the house in the middle of the night.
Okay. And so after that, when was the next time you saw Christine and Jason?
I haven't seen them since.
Okay. And have you had concerns based off of what Ryan has been telling you?
Absolutely.
And let me rephrase. Is it specifically about the behavior and what you've overheard that causes you concern?
It's from what Ryan has told me and from what I've seen personally. I have a serious concern. Yes.
Even though you haven't seen them in person, have you talked to Jason or Christine over the last couple of years?
I've talked to my brother a few times, telling him that he needed to get her out of the house because Ryan was being traumatized, and he agreed, but I feel like it just keeps going.
Miss Kennedy, how many times have you had that conversation with your brother?
5+ times.
And do you know if he's taken any efforts to?
He has been an angel trying.
Miss Kennedy, you've got to let her finish asking her question before you answer. The court reporter cannot take both of you at the same time.
Gotcha.
And do you know, has Jason talked to you about any efforts that he and Chris have taken to address any of the issues that have raised concerns?
Absolutely. He's been an angel trying to get her help, but it's just not working. And I don't know what's wrong, but it needs to be assessed with Ryan out of the house.
Ms. Kennedy, please just try to answer only the question you're asked.
Okay.
she didn't ask you what your opinion was on whether she needed to be in the house or not. That's the kind of thing
Okay.
we're talking about.
Okay.
And I'll pass the witness, Judge.
All right. Let me see where we're at. We're about to be behind on another hearing.
And I apologize, Judge.
I only have one person in there so far. I'm going to probably interrupt you here in a few minutes and try to deal with what we're going to do with that case too. So, okay, Ms. Riley, questions for Ms. Kennedy?
Real briefly, Miss Kennedy, fair to say that you think Christine Kennedy should move out, right?
Correct.
And in fact, you don't want her with your brother anymore, right?
No, I want them together. I want her to get help.
Okay, but you've told your brother that he should leave her. Is that right?
No.
Okay. The last time you talked to Christine, or I mean, not Christine, but you talked to Ryan, I just want to make sure I get this right. They were raised voices and they were stern. Is that right?
They were arguing in the bedroom. Yes.
Okay. And you said the only thing you heard was Jason saying, "I'm going to take our daughter to the office."
Yeah, because it seemed like she was.
That's all I'm asking.
Yep.
Pass the witness.
All right, Ms. Wildman. I'm sorry, not Ms. Wildman, Ms. Wiggins.
I have no questions.
Okay. All right, Ms. Wildman, do you have any other witnesses?
No, Your Honor, we'll rest.
All right. And Ms. Riley, how many witnesses do you have?
One for sure, possibly two.
Okay. All right, I'm going to take a quick break. I think what I'm going to do is everyone involved. I think what I'll do, Ms. Riley, I'll put you and your clients back in the waiting room quickly so I can bring these other people in that has nothing to do with y'all's case, figure out what we're going to do with them, and then we'll get back to y'all.
Thank you, Judge.
Uh-huh. We're two hearings behind, but I wanted to bring y'all in on the Guzman case. Ms. Naranjo, who do you represent?
Miss Guzman, Your Honor.
Okay. Last time, were you appointed?
No, I was retained.
Okay. Last I knew, Ryan Brown was her lawyer. So let me make that change first. We didn't know that.
Apologies, Your Honor.
No, that's all right. Okay. We're still in a case that we're two cases behind. We can, Mr. Pertle, this is directed to you too. I'm looking. Who's that? You're not Cody Pertle. I know that.
That's Mr. Guzman.
You're Mr. Guzman. I remember you from the last hearing. Where's Mr. Pertle?
I was told that he would be joining through phone, that he's we're traveling to court right now.
Okay, well, he hasn't joined by phone. Ms. Naranjo, Ms. Wiggins, Ms. Gutierrez, we've got until April 13th to have this hearing, and we're so far behind on this one. I'm hoping we make the 2:30 hearing. Let me see what Brittany gave me. Brittany said we could move this to the 31st of March or to April 7th.
Judge, I would prefer the 31st. I have a jury trial starting on the 7th.
Your Honor, I think that we have two new adversary hearings that were added to the docket on the 31st, and that day has been filled up. I think there's maybe
that's become a real big issue, and I don't know what we're going to do about it. So,
Judge, is there any way we could maybe utilize this Friday? I don't know what the court's docket is.
I don't see why we couldn't. Friday's my day.
Yeah, that would work. I was about to offer that as well. I don't know what time yet. I'm still waiting on Leslie to give me the times for her cases, but it would be later in the morning or early afternoon.
Okay, so we're moving it to 3:28.
Yes.
That works great for me, Your Honor.
Okay. I will try. Well, no, Brittany, would you just try to get a hold of Mr. Pertle and let him know that we moved that to March 28th? So,
yes.
Mr. Guzman, you're free to go. I'll remove you here in a minute, and I'm sure Mr. Pertle will be in touch with you. If not, you get in touch with him, and we'll let you know what time on March 28th.
I apologize, but since I thought we were going to have a hearing today, there is a procedural issue that I did have a concern about after getting retained on this case. If we could discuss that with just the attorneys and yourself.
Okay, let's go into. I don't have much time. I've got all these other people.
It will be quick.
Okay, all right. I'll put the lawyers. Well, I won't put Mr. Pertle in because he's not with us. I'll open a breakout room, Ms. Naranjo, for you and Ms. Wiggins and Ms. Gutierrez and I.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay, we're moving the Guzman initial permanency to Friday, March 28th.
Yes.
Mr. Pertle, this is for you too, since you weren't with us. And then also there's been an issue raised that Ms. Wiggins might have a conflict from when she was representing the department. So let's substitute someone in for Ms. Wiggins on the Guzman case and have them ready to go by March 28th.
Okay.
Okay.
And I was wondering, we did talk to Amy and the other children, and I told Amy that we would keep her very informed on the cases. Is it okay for my office to contact her directly and just say that she's going to get a new one so she knows what's going on?
Sure.
Okay. I just didn't want to leave her in the dark. I don't know how long it'll take to appoint someone, so I just wanted to let her know because she knows there's a hearing today.
Now, Amy, who?
That's what the oldest child goes.
Oh, she goes by. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can let her know anything about that. Just
Okay.
you
We won't
explain
talk
to
about
her-
the case. I just want to let her know
Yeah,
that she'll be getting a new attorney.
Let her know that you're not abandoning her. Just explain.
Right,
It's one of
right.
those legal things. So
Okay. Thank you.
okay. All right. Then did we have, let me see who all I got here. Who all did we have that was going to be involved in the Guzman case and might be in the waiting room?
My worker is Mickey. Mickey Lane.
Mickey, she's with us.
Oh,
and
she's
then-
under Christina Hunter.
And I'm trying to see.
waiting. I can name everybody. It's Ms. Naranjo and her client that appears to be there with her. Is that right, Kendra?
That is correct.
And then Cody Pirtle is the attorney for the father, and the father is Adrian Guzman.
He was with us under Cody's name.
Yeah, and he's here with me.
Okay. All right. So this is going to be set for, we're moving this to March 28th. We don't know what time yet.
Okay, well, I understand.
Okay. And I'm trying to see, I've got someone with CASA in the waiting room and I'm not showing them on anything for the rest of the day. No,
You're
no,
on
no, they
the
are. Excuse me.
evening.
Excuse me.
Yes.
They are. They're on this one. Let me get that person in. What a day. Shelby, this is Judge Graham. If you'd unmute, please. Hi, thank you.
Hi.
I wanted to let you know, we're having to move this hearing on the Guzman case to Friday, March 28th.
Okay.
And we don't know yet exactly what time it'll be, so you can check around. We'll know pretty quickly since it's already the 24th. But I appreciate you showing up. We got way behind today, so I'll see you on the 28th.
Okay, no problem. Thank you.
Thank you.
I apologize, but can we have that 28th hearing be in the afternoon? I have a hearing in the morning.
You got that, Brittany?
Yeah, I can put it at 1:30 if that works for you, Judge.
Yeah, you got my docket. If you say it works for me, it works for me.
Yeah, the morning is, we have 3 before that, but 1:30 is plenty of time. So
Okay.
would that give you enough time, Kendra?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. All right. We'll see y'all back on March 28th at 1:30.
Thank you.
Okay. We are going to finish this by 2:30. I can tell you. We're going to have to. All right. Let's get everybody back in.
Here I am.
Okay. All right. They're with us. All right. All right. So Aaron Kennedy with our last witness. Ms. Wildman, you don't have any other witnesses?
Yeah, we rest, or
You rest. Okay.
yes.
All right. Ms. Riley, first witness.
I call Christine Kennedy.
Okay. Ms. Kennedy, if you raise your right hand, please.
Okay, Christine, you are Ryan's mother, is that right?
Yes.
Okay, and you're married to Jason.
Yes.
How long have you all lived in Canyon?
Going on 5 years this year.
All right. Would you agree with me that you have had some mental health issues?
Yes.
Okay, so when did those start?
In my youth,
right.
I started addressing them with medications back in 2018.
Yeah, if
2018.
not before.
Jason, you can talk.
Mr. Kennedy.
Sorry.
Yeah. You got
I'm so sorry. Yes, I started addressing.
Let me just kind of set the parameters here.
Yes.
It doesn't bother me if he sits there with you, but you can't look to him for answers.
Okay.
And he can't
I
answer for you.
apologize.
Okay. All right. Let's go ahead.
Okay.
All right.
So, all right. So, would you agree that around the end of 2023 that things with your mental health kind of took a turn?
That the end of 2022, beginning of 2023 is when I had my first ever major mental health crisis. Yes, that's
All right.
something.
And what happened, or what was like? Did you get diagnosed with something? What was the end result of that?
The end result was I got stabilized and I started with my psychiatrist, then Dr. Tolsik, and I remained with her under psychiatric and Amy as counseling from then on.
All right. Did you? And I don't want to go into every medication that you were on, but you were on medications at that time, right?
Yes.
Did there come a point when those medications were having side effects that were detrimental to you?
Yes, that was in November of 2023. That was my second hospitalization. I was misdiagnosed with bipolar. They put me on several different meds that just, I wasn't bipolar. So they made me, we had to go through a whole process to recover from that.
Right. And would you agree that in that time frame that some of your behaviors were troubling to say the least?
Absolutely.
Okay. Can you give, and I don't want to bring up all your, but can you just give a couple of examples of things that you were doing when your meds were wrong?
I thought that Jason was trying to kill me. I thought that everybody was against me. I didn't know what was up or down. It made me very paranoid, very like jittery, frantic, like I could not concentrate, just terrible. It was
Okay,
terrible.
so as a result of that, did you seek intervention?
Absolutely, I did.
Right. And what'd you do?
I went straight to my doctor and my psychiatrist, and I said, we need to figure out something. Like, I'm not bipolar. Got that confirmed. Got back, Dr. Barfoot got me back on a regimen to keep me stabilized. And then we looked into ketamine treatments.
Okay, well, did you enter, so in essence, without going into the details, did you change your medications?
Yes.
Okay, and then was there a period where you were more stable?
Yes.
Okay, was there a time when there were additional issues that happened with your mental health?
Yes, I was diagnosed with PMDD, which we hadn't even considered over the time. And so I started addressing the hormonal imbalances that came to light.
And what is PMDD?
It is premenstrual dysphoric disorder.
Okay, and so you are currently seeing a psychiatrist, is that right?
Yes.
And you get your medications from a psychiatrist.
Mhm.
Now, tell me what medications you're currently taking.
I take, well, I'm weaning off the alprazolam. I take, so the Xanax, which is the alprazolam, the Adderall, the antidepressant Prestique, and Clonidine to help weaning off the Xanax and to help with my ADHD.
Okay, and so your diagnoses are major depressive disorder?
I'm sorry?
What are your diagnoses?
So my diagnosis is, well, I have a panic disorder, just ADHD, anxiety, PMDD. Yeah.
Okay. Would you agree with me that there have been 2 or 3 major incidences that have required your hospitalization over the last 3 years?
Yes.
Okay. Anytime that those sort of major issues have happened, have you cooperated fully with any medical treatment that was suggested?
Absolutely.
Now, there was a criminal case that came about in when was that? In
September. It was September 8th.
Of 2024, correct?
Please, y'all don't talk over each other.
I'm sorry. Okay, September of 2024.
Yes.
All right. Was that an additional incident where there was something going on with your mental health?
Yes.
And what was going on at that time?
At that time, the hormonal issues were in the middle of being addressed, but I had not received my testosterone replacement therapy yet.
Right. Did you, ultimately, what happened to the charges that you were facing?
They were rejected because there was no grounds.
They were rejected.
Yeah.
That was a good answer. They were rejected.
Yes.
Okay. And so you currently do not have any criminal charges, correct?
No.
Okay. Now there was also something that happened after that in Virginia, correct?
No.
In Maryland.
North Carolina.
North Carolina, there we go. In North Carolina.
Yeah.
And you were hospitalized briefly for that as well, correct?
Yes.
All right. And then have you cooperated with anything that you needed to do as a result of that?
Absolutely.
All right. Has there been a breakdown in communication between you and Jason's mother and sister?
Yes.
Do you feel like, withdrawn? In terms of Ryan, when you hear that the testimony that Ryan feels unsafe at home, how does that make you feel?
Heartbroken.
All
I'm
right.
devastated that she feels that way.
Do you agree that Ryan is unsafe at home?
No, she is safe at home.
All right. Do you agree that if she feels unsafe, that's something that needs to be addressed?
Absolutely. Yes. Yes.
Now, you heard testimony about an original meeting that you and Jason had with Katie Larson, where you signed a safety plan.
Mhm.
Okay. And did you agree to let Randall move into the house to supervise you with Ryan?
Yes.
All right. Was that something that you wanted to do?
No, but I mean, hey, we had no problem doing it for Ryan. And yes, no,
Did you make arrangements to have Randall move in following that meeting?
Oh yeah. He moved right in.
All right.
He ran, got a bag and moved right in.
All right. So when did you come to the decision that you weren't going to go drug test, even though you had told them you would do it by the 1st?
After we left the meeting, we all had a brief discussion and wanted to consult an attorney just to make sure that our business and our livelihood was protected before moving forward, because we've never dealt with anything like this.
So was the concern that you would test positive, or was the concern that if you tested positive, that might affect your business?
The business.
Okay. You told them you would test positive, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So did you make an effort to get an attorney?
Yes.
And without saying who that
I'm sorry.
without saying who that person is,
Mhm.
Did you make efforts to meet with attorneys, with family law attorneys?
Yeah, we met with Claire, I think.
No, she didn't ask you to name names.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
You just met with attorneys. That's all I needed to hear.
Yeah. All right. Is it fair to say that you were unable to retain a lawyer until after Ryan was removed?
Yes.
All right. At any point after that meeting in which you signed a safety plan, did anyone from the department reach out to you personally and ask you to drug test?
No.
Did anyone reach out?
I don't recall that.
Okay. Did anyone reach out to you and say, Christine, if you don't drug test by X date, we're going to remove Ryan?
No.
If anyone had told you, if you don't drug test right now, we're removing Ryan, what would you have done?
Ran down to raw sausage and taken the drug test.
And would you have done that even if it did end up affecting your business?
Yeah.
Did you understand that there was or what was your understanding as in terms of whether or not there was a deadline? Now, I know you said you drug test by the 1st, but did you think that there was a deadline that if you didn't do things that your child would be removed?
No. I had no understanding of that.
Now you heard some testimony about you and Jason arguing.
Mm-hmm.
Do you and Jason argue?
Yeah.
All right. How often would you say you and Jason argue?
I mean, a few times a week at least, we run a business. I think we argue as much as less than my parents.
All right. But now, Ms. Kennedy, I'm going to ask you one more time.
I'm sorry.
You're answering a lot of yes or no questions, and you're answering yes or no, and then you're throwing in a bunch of stuff that I don't need to hear. So
it's the nerves. I apologize.
I understand, but if it's yes or no, that's a good answer.
Okay.
All right. So, is Ryan present when you all fight?
Occasionally, but we make an effort to not have her around.
How do you make an effort to have her not around?
We'll either tell her to go to her room, or if she happens to be in her room already, we'll move to the other side of the house, the garage, outside,
Has Ryan talked to you about your fighting, you and Jason's arguing?
Yes.
And have you talked to her about it?
Yes.
And so what do you talk to her about it?
I let her know that, sometimes mommies and daddies have stressful things that we deal with, and, we can get frustrated with each other, but we're working it out.
Now, you've heard some testimony that Ryan sometimes say you guys get loud, angry, maybe cursing even.
Mm-hmm.
Would you agree that's happened?
Yes.
How do you feel about that?
I feel, awful that it's gotten better. I feel it hurts me that she's feeling scared to be home.
Have you done things to try to stop the anger or the conflict between you and Jason?
Jason and I are both actively working on the conflict, and naturally it's become better over the last couple months since I've been back.
All right. Now let's go back. When the police were called regarding the incident that happened in September of 24, who called the police or who called 911 to try to get intervention?
I'm sorry, can you repeat the question?
Who called 911 to try to have authorities intervene back in September of 2024 that led to criminal charges?
Oh, Jason. Jason did.
All right. And then how long were you gone from your house?
4 months.
And from what month to what month?
I left from the end of September, and then I came back end of January.
Has it been difficult to come back home?
Yeah, it's been quite an adjustment. I was like living on the road for a while, and yeah, it's been difficult. It's been wonderful at the same time.
Okay. What is your relationship with Ryan like?
We have a great relationship. It's taken a toll, like my mental health issues have taken a toll on our relationship, but since I've been back, we've had so many good moments and adventures, and I see it just growing every day. that I'm with her.
Let me interrupt for a second, Ms. Riley. Ms. Wiggins?
Oh, I think she's gone.
Yes, Judge, I had to
Why are you in
get
the,
on my phone. I have to move from my computer to
okay.
my phone.
I
I'm
was
sorry.
I was asking you,
tried
why are you in my
I tried to
waiting room?
chat Brittany. I'm sorry.
Okay, all right. I'm bringing you in out of the waiting room. Okay,
Thank you,
ready?
Judge. I'm good.
Okay, all right. Go ahead.
Did you, have you been presented with any additional services that the department's asked you to do?
Yes.
Okay, what are those?
They've offered parenting classes, counseling. They've offered counselors for Ryan. They've offered, several things.
Is there anything that the department's asked you to do that you're not willing to do?
Okay, now that's the subject of a status hearing, not today's
Sorry,
hearing.
Judge. No, yeah. Okay, so Christine, let me ask you though, at the time of removal, what happened between February of 28th when you met with the department and March 6th when she was removed? Was there any incidences that happened at home?
No.
Was there any arguing between you and Jason in that time frame?
No.
Did Ryan indicate anything to you during that time that she was unsafe or that there were problems?
No. No.
Did the department come by at any point between those two time periods?
No.
Pass the witness.
Right. Ms. Wildman?
Thank you, Judge. Miss Kennedy, the incident in September of 2024, do you remember in that case admitting to the officers that you had intentionally grabbed the steering wheel while Jason was driving?
No.
Well, do you remember telling them you grabbed it?
No.
Okay, so what is your understanding of what happened then?
My understanding is that I went to grab the steering wheel. My husband grabbed the steering wheel instead and overcorrected. And
well, who was driving?
my husband.
Okay, so you shouldn't have been grabbing the steering wheel. You'd agree with me, right?
I didn't grab it, but I should not have been going for it. Correct.
And was Ryan there with you when that happened?
He was in the back seat of the car.
And what was her reaction to what was going on?
I don't know. She was in the back seat. I mean, I'm assuming she was.
No, that's you don't assume that's a good answer.
Okay. Okay.
I don't know is always a good answer too.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know.
But she was in the car when this happened, right?
That's been asked and answered, Miss Wildman. We got to move this along.
I agree, Judge. After that incident happened, did you in any way attempt to get Ryan into any kind of counseling to address how she might have felt after that incident?
I would have, but I was under bond conditions to not have any contact with my daughter or my husband for 4 months.
So to your knowledge, nobody tried to get her help with that?
I believe she was being counseled during school with Mrs. Hope Bolliard. And I mean, yeah, how could I have knowledge? No, I don't know.
Okay.
If there were efforts made during that time.
Have you followed up since being back in the home to see if she's in any kind of counseling?
Well, I know that she's in counseling at school.
Prior to
I've been actively searching for the right counselor for her and our family. Yes.
So the answer is no, she has not been in any kind of counseling except maybe at school, but you're not sure since September of 2024, correct?
I have not found her a counselor as of yet. There's a shortage in the area as well. Okay. So,
and Ms. Kennedy, the incident in December of 2022, do you recall assaulting Patricia Stewart during that incident?
No.
Do you recall your behavior with the police in that incident?
I do.
Okay. So do you recall being uncooperative with the police when they responded?
I do.
Do you recall the involuntary commitment that resulted after that incident?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Why were you guys in North Carolina at that time?
To celebrate Christmas with Jason's family.
Okay. And so Ryan was with you.
Yes.
Do you recall telling the officer?
He wasn't with me. Well, yes.
Do you recall telling the officer that you wanted your daughter brought to you during that altercation?
Yes.
You'd agree with me that that probably wouldn't have been a good time for Ryan to be seeing you, right?
Right, but I do have a panic. Yes,
Okay.
I would agree with you.
After that incident, you still didn't try to reach out and find any counseling for Ryan, right?
After I did. That's not true. Yes, I did reach out and try to find counseling for Ryan, and I have been.
But you didn't set anything up, correct?
Did I? No, I have not.
Do you know when
I'm still
Ryan
waiting
started?
to hear back from two.
All right, next question.
Do you know when Ryan started wetting the bed?
She's always had issues. I've taken her to two doctors regarding the bedwetting issues over the last 4 years.
Miss Kennedy, the question was, do you know when she started wetting the bed?
Well, she never stopped wetting the bed.
Okay, all right, there's a good answer. We've got to keep this brief. I'm cutting everybody off at 2:30.
So does it surprise you then to hear testimony that that issue has started to resolve since she's been removed from your home?
Does it surprise me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Now, what medications are you supposed to be taking right now?
Alprazolam and Prestique, Adderall, and Clonidine.
Okay. And so if you were to take a drug test for the department, all of those things should be present, correct?
Yes.
Have you taken a drug test for the department?
Yes.
And have you discussed those results with anybody from the department?
Katie called me about those results on the 17th, I believe. Yes.
And were you surprised by those results?
I was shocked, yes.
Why?
She told me that the Adderall and the alprazolam did not show up in the urinalysis or the hair follicle test. And
do you understand how that could cause concern for the department if you were expecting those to be there because you're taking medication, but they were not present?
yes, yes, I could understand that.
I'll pass the witness, Judge.
All right. Ms. Wiggins?
Thank you, Judge. Miss Kennedy, what did you believe that Ryan was lying to the investigator about?
I'm sorry. Lying?
Yes, you indicated that the child was not being truthful. What do you believe the child is not being truthful about?
I don't recall.
So Ryan said that there's arguing in the house. You would agree with Ryan?
Yes.
I'll pass the witness.
Okay. All right. Ms. Riley, anything else from this witness?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Ms. Riley, any other witnesses?
Yes, we'd call Jason Kennedy. Married to Christine.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. I just want to briefly ask you, going back to the incident in September of 24, who is the person that called 911 to get assistance for Christine?
I was.
All right. And going to the incident that happened in North Carolina, did you again seek medical intervention on behalf of Christine at that point in time?
No.
Did you cooperate with the doctors in terms of trying to get her medical intervention?
Yes.
All right. And did you do everything you could to try to address whatever issues were happening at that time?
Yes.
And so if you felt, so in September of 24, you called 911 twice about your wife. Is that fair?
Yes.
All right. Are you the person that had her involuntarily committed?
Yes.
Okay. So if you felt that Christine was a danger to you or to Ryan or to herself, and you felt that calling the authorities would assist in stopping that, would you do so?
Yes.
So since Christine has come home, have you had to contact the authorities at all because of anything that's happened with her?
No.
Why not?
Because nothing has happened.
All right.
And there's no need to call the authorities.
Okay. Would you agree that you and Christine fight sometimes?
Yes.
You argue?
Yes.
Do you sometimes raise your voices?
Yes.
Is there name calling sometimes?
Yes.
All right. Is it fair to say that you believe that some of your family have influenced Ryan to over-exaggerate what's happening at your house?
Yes.
Objection, speculation.
Sustained.
When Ryan has spoken up about things happening in your house, is there ever a common connection with that?
Can you repeat that question?
Yeah, sorry, bad question. Do you ever notice whether or not when Ryan, has said that something bad happened at the house, does it come in connection with her speaking with someone outside of the home?
Yes, because it does not correlate. Yes.
And so when Ryan says something negative or something bad has happened in the house, who does it correlate with her having spoken to?
My side of the family.
And do we mean Randall?
My mother, my sister.
All right, pass the witness.
Okay. Miss Wildman?
Real briefly, Mr. Kennedy, when did Christine move back into the house?
I want to say mid-January off the top of my head.
Okay, so the incident in North Carolina in December would have happened before she came home, but when you were supposed to not be having contact due to the bond conditions, correct?
I was not aware of those bond conditions and the time.
Okay, but based on your understanding now, yes, that occurred during time when bond conditions would have been in place.
Yes.
And let me ask you a follow-up. If you weren't aware of the bond conditions, then why did Christine move out for 4 months?
The case was refused,
But were the bond conditions still in place for those 4 months?
I was not. I don't recall.
If you were concerned about Ryan talking to your family members and making these false claims, as you say, why did you tell Ryan to stop talking to her school counselor?
Because the things Ryan would come home and talk about just didn't didn't correlate with what was happening in our household. And I just wanted her to try to keep our fit. We were trying to work as a family with mom coming home, and I wanted to make sure that she was seeking another counselor as well for almost like a second opinion and not just one counselor.
Thank you, Mr. Kennedy. I'll pass the witness, Judge.
All right, Ms. Wiggins?
Thank you, Judge. Mr. Kennedy, did you seek a new counselor for Ryan?
No, my wife was very adamant about handling that since she's been doing that for a while now.
Okay, and she didn't find anyone, is that correct?
Not yet, but I know she has picked a few, and I know she has made phone calls, and we have talked about it.
Okay, and you indicated that. So was it fair to say that you thought Ryan was bringing up old issues back to the new times? Is that a fair statement?
Sure.
So that didn't occur to you that maybe she was still having emotional issues from the old trauma?
Yes.
Okay. I'll pass the witness.
All right. Anything else from Mr. Kennedy?
Yes, just briefly. So, Jason, just to make sure that we clarify in terms of the bond, when we talk about 4 months, were you under the impression that when you were in December that the case had been refused and the bond didn't exist?
Yes.
All right, pass the witness.
Okay. All right, then, Ms. Riley, do you have any other witnesses?
I do not, Judge. We'd rest.
Okay, thank you. And I guess Mr. Kennedy, Ms. Kennedy's right there with you. That's fine. She's not in the camera shot, but I just
I'm right here.
okay, yeah. I just didn't want you to think I was sending y'all out of the room. So
Oh, no.
okay. All right, then. Ms. Wiggins, do you have any witnesses?
I do not, Judge.
All right. Ms. Wiggins, recommendations?
My recommendation is that Ryan, or the department, remain temporary managing conservator. Ryan's placement to continue. I am glad that they're getting her in with Lynn Jennings. Dr. Jennings, I believe that would be the best course of action in this case. I met with Ryan. Ryan was a very bright, pleasant girl, wanted to do geology and had a rock in her pocket. So she was very happy in exploring her new placement, and I'm hoping we can find a permanent house there at High Plains.
Okay, thank you. All right. Then I will continue the department's temporary managing conservator, continue Ryan's current placement, knowing that they're looking for a placement. I will comment though, even though it's an emergency shelter at High Plains Children's Home, they run a really good program. So, but that's not where she needs to be for very long. So I'll set the next hearing, the status hearing for May 5th, 2025. That will be by Zoom, just like today's hearing. So parties and attorneys can either contact your attorney or the department or St. Francis a day or two in advance of May 5th to see exactly what time we'll have that hearing. I will say, I'd really like to, obviously I can't tell you who to call as witnesses, but the court's really interested in hearing from Ryan's counselor at that hearing. And I agree. I hope it is Dr. Jennings, because she does well. So, okay. We'll stand in recess. On a status hearing. I'll be back. Ms. Gutierrez is with us for the department. Ms. Wiggins is with us representing the child. Ms. Mellanax is with us representing the mother, Ms. Mendez, who is with us. And Ms. McDaniel is with us representing the father, Mr. Soria, who is with us. I have all the parties. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Mr. Soria ended up back in the waiting room for some reason. And then I have Erica Cantrell.
Erica's my caseworker on this one, Your Honor.
Okay, all right.
Thank you, Your Honor. The department requests that the court take judicial notice of the court report filed on 2/28/2025.
All right, so noted, and I did read that report.
Thank you, Your Honor. The department calls Erica Cantrell as its witness. Great.
Okay.
Are there any updates on the children since the filing of your court report?
And no specific updates. Both are doing fine. The biggest concern we have right now is continuing issues with the children getting to school on time, behaviors in the morning, such like that.
Okay. Now, I believe in your court report, you mentioned that Nori was having, I'm not sure what to call them. You're calling them behaviors. Could you give a little bit more detail to the court?
So Nori has exhibited some anger behavioral issues that has resulting in her harming herself as well as her brother. She has exhibited behavior such as pulling her own hair, hitting herself. She has also exhibited behaviors that have resulted in her hitting and harming her brother, leaving scratches on his face. Miles, I have reported as of today, he was having a tantrum this morning, refusing to get ready for school. There was an incident that I'm needing to gather more information, but on Friday he physically got into an altercation with a peer at school. So we are seeing some physical aggression with both children.
Are both children now in therapy?
Yes, they are.
And approximately when did they start that therapy?
I believe they had their first session would have been 2 weeks ago.
And is that with Pace Lawson for both children?
I don't believe that they were able to get in with him. It's with a different therapist. I do have the provider information and we'll share that with Courtney Wiggins, but they were not able to get in with Pace.
Okay. And their own parents may be interested in knowing who their children's therapist is as well. Do you have that name?
Yes, give me just 1 second. I did get confirmation for those schedulings. It's through Pursuit of Happiness. I don't have the specific name, but I will ensure that all parties do have that.
Okay, thank you. And it sounds like there are some concerns with the current placement. Is that correct?
Yes, we do.
Now, in your court report as well, you indicated that you had instructed placement to seek treatment for Nori's behaviors when they happen, but that she had not done so. Can you clarify what you meant by that sentence in your court report?
Yes, ma'am. Initially, these behaviors had been happening. We had asked her, to seek immediate assistance, whether it be taking her to the pavilion or, like I said, seeking immediate help. She did not initially do that. So we again addressed that with her. If Nori or even Miles was exhibiting any kind of self-harming behavior, hitting themselves, scratching themselves, that they needed to be seeking, or excuse me, not they, but Dorothy would need to be seeking immediate help, whether it be through the pavilion or through an emergency, hospital or some sort of emergency care to have her evaluated.
Additionally, you stated that the problems with the children getting to school late are continuing. Is that correct?
Yes, we did have an incident last week that they were late. I do know that they were late this morning. Miles was having a tantrum, is my understanding, and they were late to school this morning. The kids did miss quite a bit of school the week prior to spring break because of illness, and then prior to that, there was, a lot of missing school, being late. They had actually been late more to school under Dorothy's care than when in mom's home. So, I mean, the attendance and such is an issue. So we do have a safety plan in place regarding this attendance with school with her.
When was that safety plan put in place?
That was put in place prior to spring break. That safety plan will run for 30 days. I'll give you an exact date.
I don't need the date of that, Erica. My question is, if this was put into place before spring break, are you seeing a continuation of the same issues after spring break?
Yes, we do. I mean, we do have continued issues as far as attendance.
Now, you mentioned that these kids now have missed more school in this placement than they had with their parents. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Now, are the late or missed school days, are they due solely to illness or the children having tantrums?
The full missed days, like I said, I know that they had been sick quite a bit with flu, things like that week prior to spring break. I know some of it is tantrum related. I do know some of it is simply the kids are going, they had not been on a routine. We discussed a lot with placement about going to bed early, routine, things like that. So there's a lot of combination of reasons.
And in speaking with the kids, are there also concern about placement supervising mom's visitation?
Yes, we had originally at the adversary agreed that grandma could supervise some of the makeup visitation, and that after we would go to department supervising. We had spoke to the children whenever we had gone out to talk to the children about the scratches on Miles' face, and they said that they had been seeing mom outside of some of that approved contact. So we did have concerns of that.
At this part, I apologize. At this point, are we asking the court to change the order back to St. Francis only supervising the children or a contractor of St. Francis?
Yes.
Other than those issues with placement supervising or mom having unapproved contact with the children, are there any other issues with mom's visitation, or are those going well?
So far, I mean, the visitation is going well. She was ordered the 2 hours. That 2 hours originally was being given to her for makeup visitation time. Generally, we start out with visitation for 1 hour. And so generally she would be getting 1 hour supervised by St. Francis until she started working services.
So at this point, what visitation is she getting? 2 hours or 1 hour weekly?
She is at this point getting 2 hours supervised by St. Francis.
But we're not asking the court to change the visitation order of 1 hour per week, are we?
Like I said, generally we just, we start out with that 1 hour until they start working services. As that's generally what we do. But I mean, of course, it's up to the court if, they want to remain with that 2 hours. But as of right now, I mean, the visitation with mom and the children are going well.
Your Honor, may I have a moment to check that adversary hearing order, visitation order?
Sure.
Thank you. Your Honor,
Yes.
I ask that the court take judicial notice that the adversary hearing order has mom's visitation set at 2 hours per week supervised by the maternal grandmother.
All right. What about father's visitation?
I'll check father's visitation right now, Your Honor. 1 hour per week for the father supervised by St. Francis Ministries and may be virtual when the father is working out of town.
Okay. Thank you.
Now, Ms. Cantrell, if the mother's visitation is 2 hours weekly, are we asking the court to change that to 1 hour weekly, or are we going to leave that at 2?
Like I said, generally we would request so far as St. Francis, we generally start at the 1 hour a week.
Ms.
So
Cantrell, I just need a yes or no. Are we
Yes,
asking the
1 hour a
court 1 hour per week? Okay, thank you. Has Ms. Mendez received all of her makeup visitation?
She has.
And how's the father's visitation with the children going?
Brandon's visits are going well.
Okay. Are there, is the department or is St. Francis working with his work schedule?
Yes.
Great. And to your knowledge, are the parents still together in a relationship?
No, to my knowledge, they are not.
And to your knowledge, has Mr. Soraya been at Ms. Mendez's apartment?
Yeah. To my knowledge, and not in the last couple weeks. I do know at one point he has been there since we've been involved. So
Can I say something?
Not yet, ma'am.
there was an incident that he was at the apartment. He did kick her door down. The police were called. So
Your Honor.
How do you know this, Miss? How'd you know this, Miss Cantrell?
when I went to the home or the apartment, I spoke with maintenance that was there, and I
Okay.
also
Well, then it'd be hearsay. So
okay.
Ms. Cantrell, have you heard anything from either parent about the father being at Ms. Mendez's home?
Yes, I have.
Which parent did you hear that from?
Alyssa.
And what did Alyssa state?
She did let me know of the incident that led to the police coming to the home.
And how did she describe that incident?
She described that he had came over and that the door had been kicked in.
Are there any updates regarding Alyssa? Any other updates?
She's working. She has obtained employment. She's doing well. She's maintaining contact with me. She's willing to work services. She signed her family plan. So she's complying with what we've asked.
Are you encouraged by Ms. Mendez taking those steps?
I'm very encouraged and when speaking with her.
Great. And for Mr. Soraya, are there any more updates on him?
No, he has the same, signed his family plan. I've been able to meet with him. He was at the apartment when I did meet with him. He says he's willing to work services as well. So as of right now, he's doing what, is asked of him.
A couple of more questions. For clarification, whose apartment was Mr. Soraya at when you met with him to go over that family plan?
He was at Alyssa's apartment.
Does Mr. Soraya have his own place to live?
No.
Has he discussed where he stays when he is not working?
No, he generally he stated whenever he was there that day that he has his belongings in a bag, and he generally just has that with him, and he doesn't really have a plan at that time when I spoke with him.
Okay. Now, you mentioned service plans. Have you created family plans of service for these two parents?
I have.
And are they reasonably tailored to the issues in the removal?
Yes, ma'am.
And were the main issues at removal domestic violence?
Yes, ma'am.
And are they, did they aim to mitigate the reasons for removal?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you please identify 2 to 3 services unique to Mr. Soraya?
With Mr. Soraya, his is the domestic violence, counseling to assist with that. We discussed anger management, and then of course the comply and maintain contact in housing and employment with us as well.
Now, going back, you said domestic violence. What specific service is in his service plan to address that?
That would be the BIP courses.
And for Ms. Mendez, can you please identify only 2 to 3 services that are unique to Ms. Mendez?
Unique with her is going to be counseling is going to be key with her to kind of work through, like I said, the issues with the domestic violence. We would like her to do some WAVE classes that is a Women Against Violence. And then the employment and just, working through the counseling to build that confidence and such again.
Now, you stated that both parents had signed the service plans. Have they reviewed those service plans as well?
Yes, I have reviewed them with them, and they've been provided with copies as well.
And at this time, there are no concerns of drug use with either parent. Would you agree?
Yes, I will agree with that.
Okay, so we're not asking for any drug screens today. Is that correct?
No, ma'am, not today.
Okay. Are we asking the court today that the grandmother be removed as a visitation supervisor?
Yes, ma'am.
And are we as well asking that mother's visitation be 1 hour per week?
Yes, ma'am.
Pass the witness.
All right. Is anger management part of the father's service plan?
I believe it is, yes.
Okay, in addition to the BIP.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, Erica, clarify for me. I didn't hear anything about mother doing the domestic violence group. I've been told both ways. I've been told WAVE is the equivalent for a female, like BIP is for a male, and I've been told no, it's not that.
You're right, and I should have said WAVE. It's a domestic violence support group, is what I should have said. It's through Family Support Services, so it's a domestic violence support group.
Okay. Is there still a WAVE program?
I believe there is, and it's through Family Support Services, but it's Women Against Violence. So if say she was an offender or had charges for it, then that's why we would put her through like a WAVE course.
All right, that's what I thought. So that she doesn't have WAVE as part of her service plan.
No, and I did say it, but I meant the domestic violence support group.
Okay, thank you. I thought that's what you meant.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Ms. Mullinax, questions?
Yes, thank you. Erica, when did Ms. Mendez sign her service plan?
It would have been, I seen her, it would have been in February. And so she signed early February or late February, it would have been. But she has signed it.
Within the last month?
Oh, yes, absolutely.
And you said that she's obtained employment, which she wasn't employed when we started this case, correct?
That is correct.
And she has a home, so that's part of the service plan as well, correct?
Correct.
And then you said she's keeping in contact with you, which is also part of the service plan, correct?
Correct.
And you said earlier that the St. Francis only gives 1 hour until they start working services. So those are services that she's been working, correct? On her service plan.
Yes, I agree.
And the only reason you say that she should get an hour is because that's your policy, right?
Well, no, not just our policy.
Well, that's the reason that you gave your attorney, correct? That it was the policy to give her 1 hour?
It is, but she needs to start the counseling.
Objection to non-responsive, Your Honor.
Sustain.
Pass the witness.
Ms. McDaniel?
How are you, Erica?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. When was the last time that you spoke with Mr. Soria?
It would have been the 1st of March. The 1st of March.
The 1st of March. And you said he didn't currently have somewhere to live in Amarillo?
That's my understanding. He doesn't have specific stable housing that he reported to me for Amarillo.
But he works out of town, is that correct?
That is correct.
A lot of the time, his schedule obviously has been provided to you, but a lot of the time he is out of town.
That is correct.
And he had previously lived with Alyssa when he did live here in Amarillo?
Yes, ma'am.
Did he tell you that he had planned on getting any type of housing here in Amarillo?
He didn't have an exact plan whenever I had talked to him at that time. I mean, it may have changed. I don't know.
And he said he was willing to participate in all of his services. Is that correct?
He did say yes.
And he sent you through me, he had sent you his work schedule to be able to get those services planned around that work schedule. Is that correct?
Yes.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Thank you, Ms. Wiggins.
Erica, have we explored potentially other options for placement on the children?
Not at this time, no.
Okay, have we not asked for any other family that maybe would have the better availability to get them to school on time and to maybe avoid the violations of visitation with mom?
No, we have not. We put that safety plan in place first.
Okay, and in regards to the violations of mom spending the night with the kids there or being extra visitation, have you spoken to mom about that?
We had spoke to grandmother, and there was a pending investigation.
Non-responsive.
Overrule.
So I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
Yes, ma'am. We had spoke to grandma about that, and there was a pending investigation.
Okay, but you have not spoken to the mom.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear both of you. I couldn't hear her and I couldn't hear you, Ms. Melnick. What?
I was renewing my objection. The question was, had she spoken to mom about it? And she did not answer the question.
Okay.
No, I have not spoke to mom about that.
Okay, thank you.
All right, I'll pass the witness, Judge.
Erica, are both parents' visitation in person?
Mom's is in person, and dad's he's primarily in town 1 week out of the month, and that visit is in person. The other 3 weeks are virtual.
Does the in-person visit between him and the children go all right?
I haven't had any concerns reported by Rainey, who supervises that visit.
Okay, all right. Would it be a continuing danger to the physical health and safety of the children to be returned to either parent today?
Yes, sir.
Would it be contrary to their welfare to be returned to either parent today?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right, thank you. All right then, Ms. Gutierrez, any further witnesses?
No, Your Honor, the department rests.
All right. I will give you your findings of reasonable efforts to reunify by forming the service plans and by offering the parents visitation.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Melnick, any witnesses?
No, Your Honor, rest.
All right, thank you. Ms. McDaniel, any witnesses?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Wiggins, witnesses?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Wiggins, recommendations?
I recommend that the department remain temporary managing conservator. Placement continued as is. I would ask that the department look for other options in case we do need other family options potentially. I know there's a service plan and I'm hoping that will be successful, but I think we should have a backup just in case that isn't, so they don't get shipped off to Houston if we have to move them from the grandparents' house. And then I don't see an issue with the mom's visitation remaining at 2 hours.
No, I don't either. Okay. All right, I will continue the department's temporary managing conservator. I'll continue the children's current placements. I will order that the department explore any other family placement options in case grandma continues to allow mother unapproved visitation. I'll order at this time both parents' visitation will be supervised by St. Francis. And I am going to order that Ms. Mendez continue her 2 hours a week. These kids obviously are having some issues with the self-harming. So I'm not going to upset these kids' life any more than I have to. So we'll leave hers at 2 hours. That's what they've probably gotten used to. So I'm going to order that Mr. Soria's visitation continue at 1 hour weekly. And I'm going to order that Mr. Soria have no in-person contact with Ms. Mendez. Okay. Our next hearing will be the initial permanency hearing. That will be on July 14th, 2025. That will be by Zoom like today's hearing, so parties and attorneys can go on the court's online docket a day or two in advance of July 14th to see exactly what time that hearing will take place. Okay, this was our last hearing of the day, so we will stand in recess. Everyone have a good week.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank
Thank
you
you for accommodating my off and on.
Sure.
I apologize.
No problem.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
Jody,
you.
thanks for covering.